starting this episode and we're trying to go live. One of those things where we're trying to go live. We're both eating.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Your entertainment.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to figure out how to get this URL. Chatting. Oh man. So this is officially 45.
Yep. This episode brought to you by Ryers.
Mm-hmm. Oh, those guys. Oh, sometimes they're really cool, but sometimes they can be overpriced and weird.
Oh, they're totally overpriced, but they're so delicious.
Oh, hey, all right, through one. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to just do this thing live, be quirky. No. Yeah, down that family.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm just trying to get all the stuff on the online so you can talk to us and berate us in real time and tell us you
Feel free to
fucking know-it-alls.
That's right. Engage us in conversation. Call us assholes.
Mm-hmm. All right, yeah. Let's do it. Call our assholes with your gaping asshole.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of great.
Oh.
All right, ready? Ready, Senor Horny? You ready? Go for it. Take the mic while I'm doing this.
Delicious sandwich I just ate.
Right.
Fucking love that place.
Go ahead, go for it.
Alright, welcome to Stock Talk, episode
Enthusiasm.
45.
And
And there's the welcoming belch
keep
for it.
eating.
There's going to be a lot of food eaten on this one.
High energy, high energy.
High fructose.
Oh. So what are you getting?
I'm just trying to get the links. I'm just going
I'm going to try
to
to...
spread them. Oh, you doing it?
Yeah, I'm
it's
doing
probably easy to do it from right now. I'll just share this online.
So much crap going
I
on.
know.
And we're recording this, so that's kind of fun, too. So I believe you'll be able to hear our feed as well, so it'll be kind of fun. Well, milk chocolate pretzels.
Oh, yeah.
They are divine. So, John, what is going on with you?
I don't know,
Last time
man.
we talked was like 2.5 weeks ago, maybe?
Yeah, with buddy Ethan. We
Right. I brought him Ethan, who, I apologize, Ethan, I missed your, actually it's changed. I think it's a Five Writers or Massachusetts. He had to change the name of his little soiree. Because he didn't get in hot water, but it was a Peruvian mess.
Oh, really? Yeah, I would never heard of it. Oh,
Well,
yeah.
it wasn't a mess. It just there's the whole event is kind of basically a kind of a shift on or a take on this one thing they do in Peru, I guess, and under this, I think it's Peru. You can back me up. Oh yeah, there you go.
There we go. Now we're mass communicating.
There we go. We'll see what happens. In Peru, they do this publishing house does this, pretty much a lucha libre, kind of Mexican wrestling writing competitions. And Ethan talked about last episode. He does a similar thing, but he had to change a bit of the format in the name.
Yeah, I'm doing it the logo form right now, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm doing it like old school WWF style.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there we are. Ooh. So go for it. All right. Now we're going to get back to actually talking to each other. Hopefully this is salvageable. So, I'm sorry, I jumped on the question, but how are you doing? All right?
I'm alright, I guess. I'm having like some sort of existential crisis, I think.
Do tell.
I don't know what it is. I can't seem to get to the root of it, but something's really bothering me.
We're going to do it in an hour.
But I don't know
We'll
what
get to it, and we're going to call it.
So, this should make for an interesting episode.
Well, what do you mean?
I don't know, man. Oh, those are delicious.
Something within your bone?
Crisis averted. Yogurt-covered pretzels every day.
A little bit. I don't buy it. I don't think our listeners buy it. They're pretty cheap, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't know. Something's really fucking grating on me. I have no idea what it is.
Well, we were talking a little bit about Jonah grading on all of us.
It kind of
It's like
just you and I fucking
fighting every other day,
Thunderdome.
like a married couple. I get to keep the kid, not the mentally unstable one, but
I want half the money.
yeah. Everything you have. When you were with me, you made a lot of money, which is a great argument in any divorce. When I first heard, they're like, "Oh, what? Like you get half of everything because I was with you, pretty much."
That's so fucking stupid of me.
Well, it's a weird. Did you ever hear? Not to mention a better podcast in ours, so you don't rush to it. But WTF had a great. And this was years ago. Dave Foley was from Kids in the Hall,
Yep.
and he was radio fame. And a bunch of other stuff. He he was talking about his kind of situation where he in Canada, like his first wife and their kids, like he had to give them money for. I think it's been overturned a bit, but like the situation at that time, like 2010 or 11, he had to give all that. He had to give like so much money, like a month, and it didn't even matter if he died or if he couldn't physically be able to do it. And it's like a weird, shitty old law in Canada. But
prenuptial agreement, man.
huh?
Prenuptial agreement.
Oh, I've never. I mean, I don't. The monk and I have. We have two of them, but we they cancel each other. I don't know. Prenup. What's to be a teacher in a public access center? Like, what are you gonna? This weekend have to.
Well, half the counseling meetings.
Yeah, exactly. Half of the dog shit. Like the two adorable little hellions. So we'll see. All right, we'll go back. See what everyone's doing over here. If anyone's entered. Into here.
Video, huh?
Yeah, there we are. So we're technically live, yeah. And no one, I don't think anyone's here. No viewers. Oh. Well, yeah, we're live. We're going live. And we're taking it to the streets. We're making it happen. Making it happen. I think the level's in here. Let me double check, too. The audio is good to go. Built-in output. No. Ooh, sunflower. Built-in output. What the? Let's see what we got. Default microphone. No. Built-in. There we go.
You commented on a link we should.
Hey, wait a minute. Yeah. All right, this will be a little better, I'm sure, volume-wise for people listening. Hopefully, we'll see.
Yeah, hopefully you can really hear us eating.
We have, because we mentioned him in every podcast, Jason Dubinsky. He had said to us some years ago, maybe a year and a half, about the opening of an episode of us just eating.
Yep.
You remember? Like, you guys were just eating.
I do remember that.
I'm like, yeah, that's kind of...
We've taken that into consideration and consider it's fucking... that we're hungry.
We've almost amplified. Well, not necessarily just because. There you go.
There's the guy. Seems like every episode involves eating now.
Well, because we don't fucking... We struggle, and that's probably part of the existential dig or kind of dagger in both of us. We struggle to find the time to do a lot of stuff. And with Jonah really amping up and getting to... I mean, you think it lays down a bit of the pressure, but it doesn't. You have to keep going and going. And
it seems to be getting worse, actually, now.
It's going to get more depressing.
It really is. Jesus Christ.
So much more rejection. Oh, but we're getting elated,
but it's like...
Yeah. Go ahead, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if we mentioned this. Jonah... My name is Jonah. We won the best...
we definitely mentioned that.
We won. I know we mentioned that, but we'll be going to... we'll be premiering in New York at the Duke Mitchell... no, is this the LES Film Festival?
Lower East Side
Film Festival in Manhattan. And then...
I hear it's a...
It looks like a legit...
pretty kicking festival.
Awesome festival, yeah. And,
we got a mention in a couple magazines.
Yep.
IndieWire.
Yeah. And we'll also be... premiering in London. We have an international premiere in London in June 27th, I believe that one is.
Correct.
And that is the Duke Mitchell Film Festival. But yeah, it's so
June
like
29th, yeah.
Like,
and there are others that we applied for and we keep going towards, and we're just looking.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be in the New Hampshire Film Festival.
Yeah, a couple other ones. We'll see. Oh.
So much
eating and thinking.
Yep.
I have to let you and JB know. I guess I'll do it here. There's Chad Kaplan, one of the animators for Jonah. A good duder.
Mm-hmm.
Fun guy. Big old mushroom is what I'm saying. He knew a guy from I think it was the Arkham Cinema, like screenings or whatever. I think that's what it is, which is Josh Fathom, I believe is the guy's name. He called me the other day because I sent him an email back in like April or end of March, beginning of April. And I followed up an email like in the last couple weeks. And we talked about screening Jonah in Providence or in Rhode Island.
Nice.
But it's not necessarily. It's kind of it. You know, they're not a fest per se, but it'd be something we do during the season, like in July, and prep it like a fest kind of thing, which would be nice. But we have to check out the rules of while you're on the festival circuit and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see. But it's interesting. Like a lot of people are interested, and we got. Ooh, excuse me. Belching here from the Birmingham, Alabama Sidewalk Festival. Contacted us via the website.
Awesome.
Yeah, looks like a lot of fun. Never been to
Really
Alabama.
excited about that one.
And yeah, I actually just finished reading the first issue of a comic called, I think, Southern Bastards by Jason Aaron, who is the writer of Current Thor.
Yep.
And he's done Wolverine and some other, and Scalped, I believe, one of Aussie Adam Lovett's favorite books, comics. And it's good. It's fun. The first issue. It's something I like old Southern, like kind of come back to your town kind of thing, because it's an older gentleman coming back to his town, and just unbeknownst to him, he starts like he gets involved in a scuffle like they always do.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's like, wait a minute, but I just saved your life. I don't know who I just messed up, and a chain reaction of, now he's involved in something bigger than he didn't know, so or he wasn't prepared to be part of. So. As the rambling goes on. It's so interesting when I
just
talk.
Finished, I bought Jim Henson's Tales of Sand, finally.
I don't know. I'm not familiar.
I've been wanting to get that forever, but it's Jim Henson's only screenplay that he wrote that never got turned into something. And it got turned into some people made it a project to like get it turned into a graphic novel, and it's fucking awesomely
Is
weird.
a graphic novel better than a comic book? Well, that's kind of a fucked up weird. I understand the distinction, quote unquote, of a graphic novel. I'll use those quotes. Just finger the air and anything else that gets in its way. But yeah. No, I mean it's a snooty division.
It really is.
But I understand things. It's like, it's a one-shot kind of story thing. I'm like, yeah, okay, I understand that. But you can also call it just a comic book too. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Unless you want to be
a douchebag,
which we do often in
all the time.
In droves.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really the art is beautiful in it, and it's like the weirdest thing I think Jim Henson ever wrote. It's very grounded in reality, but then it gets nutty. Like I would like to see it made as a movie, and I think the only person alive who could make it and do it justice would be Terry Gilliam. It would be a great Terry Gilliam film because it has his
or Alan Alda maybe.
Alan Alda.
He just does it
too.
He wasn't in the movie. He was in a TV show.
Oh really?
Yeah, they're two different. Like Altman's MASH and the TV MASH.
My dad used to love that show. I never understood it. I was like, why is there a laugh track? Like, this doesn't seem like it's funny.
Well, I mean, the movie's kind of funny, but it's also very, like, sad, funny, and weird. Like, it's like banana peel slipping, like, Korean War, which is also supposed to be, Vietnam War.
Yeah.
But it's funny. It's a lot of weird shit that goes on. It's just like, yeah, this is what happened. It's like the hierarchy is not the hierarchy that's really set up there. You know what I mean? It's about, community. It's about community.
Talking about shows that are 40 years old.
Well, yeah, the movie is like 70.
It's going to be mid-70s, right?
Yeah, maybe even early 70s. You got Elliot Gould and Donald Sutherland. And Robert Duvall.
Really?
Yeah, and Tom Skerritt. Robert Duvall's amazing in it.
Robert Duvall's amazing in everything.
He is. Tom Skerritt's in it, and you don't know it's Tom Skerritt. For our generation.
Trademark mustache?
No, he doesn't. And he's got like almost like not a Mo Howard cut, but just kind of like just a regular shaggy kind of
weird.
brunette. Because you picture him with picket fences or some sort of Cheech and Chong. Like, I don't know, man. It's weird. It's weird, but I recommend it. It's on Netflix. I think MASH.
Little MASH.
But let's steer away for a bit. Let's get in. We have one viewer. I don't know who it is. Maybe they'll alert us to who they are. But let's get to the nitty gritty. You have a crisis on your hands. Existential. Does it have to do with love? Did you just fart?
Yeah, I did.
I thought it was just a shift in the chair, but
yeah, I know it's just a culmination of a lot of things. I think just seemed to started to question just where life is going, the direction it's headed. That's all. It's just bizarre. But,
wow. Okay.
yeah, I don't know. I had I'm either moving or I'm not moving in the next 2 months. Like,
yeah.
It's just a fucking.
I'll put it out there, man. Anyone in Radioland wanna?
Yeah.
Well, maybe you shouldn't. Maybe that shouldn't. Do you trust the Sock Talk base?
It's such a. I'm on the precipice of life-altering things happening. So come the next 2 months, and then within the year. So it's like a lot of weird stuff. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do next. So, but I was talking to. We had a movie marathon down with the Aussies.
Oh yeah, how
It was good. It was
I wish I
one
went.
of the best ones, dude. The movies we watched were amazing.
They look pretty good. The Machine
was awesome.
Yeah, it looked
was
good.
Really awesome. Dom Hemingway was incredible.
Yeah, I saw a trailer for it way back when.
That made me so happy. Like 2 of the 3 movies I wanted to see the most this year have been fucking excellent. The other one we watched being Big Bad Wolves.
Oh, was that good?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
So all I need is for Guardians of the Galaxy to be great, and then I don't care about anything else that comes out this year. Those would be my most 3 important movies. But
We should just have a horror movie one.
yeah, we're doing the Godfather one with JB's. That's gonna be.
I can't
awesome.
do it.
Oh,
I wish I
sucks.
could. I wish I was consulted. Literally, because it's my buddy and production sound guy Ryan. You might have met Ryan Spencer. I don't know if you had. He did Shook. He did a couple things with us in New York and Morning of Everything, which is going to the Nantucket Film Festival, but
Nice.
it's
Jesus.
7 in the morning. It's like a kids
really?
program. It's weird.
That is weird.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to that. It's like a Thursday and a Sunday. I'm like, I might have. It was midday.
Yeah.
Just make a day trip with a monk and just go. But no, I can't. Such a weird, 7 a.m. I'd have to stay overnight or just leave at 5 in the morning, maybe, or 4.
No, that's not happening.
Yeah. Not doing that. Leave, go. I mean, leave here. Leave my home base to go there, and then come back.
Then go to work.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, I might as well do that. Oh, damn. Actually, on Thursday, I'd have to get in early. But, yeah. But, yeah, that day, that was Saturday the 7th, and I put their address, I'm just going to put their address on the live thing so you can go. Anyone can just drop in.
That one's going to be awesome.
Invasion.
Oh, we lost our one viewer.
Oh, yeah, already? Good.
All I'm doing is eating. Oh, they're back.
You're kind of talking. Oh, maybe. Oh, they heard it. They heard about it. Or maybe just someone else. They're just fucking tag teaming in, just trying to it's got to be some sort of prank, or some sort of punishment. Oh, now your brother has to listen to Sock Talk. No.
Yeah, well, he's molested.
What? That wasn't part of the deal. So it's a visual and auditory kind of, like a physical and auditory, just torture.
I dig. Live snuff.
Live snuff.
Yeah.
With puff and stuff. Yeah, but yeah, the 7th. Yeah, that wedding's been in there for a while, and then the monk, one of her good friends. So no one from my family, no one really I know. I mean, she's nice, but her daughter is having her bat mitzvah, which is for the lady.
So you weren't joking? It really is a bar mitzvah?
It's a bot. Not a bot, which I keep saying, but B-A-T, bat mitzvah. There's bar mitzvah, which is for a gentleman, a man. They become men and women. Even the women become men because in the
I did not know that.
And that's if you're a lady, you become a man in the eyes of State of Israel and the Hebrew crew. And yeah, you don't. There's no female rabbis. Well, that's the one thing. As crazy educated as the Jews or the Israelites will get, there's still that fucking crazy male hierarchy of I mean, there are some sects and group sects, SCCTS, pardon my fucking slur, speech. But they might have like a female rabbi or something, which is fucking hot in so many ways.
The bar mitzvah I shot there was one.
Oh yeah, there was a female rabbi.
Yeah.
Nice. Good looking, and maybe she's single.
It's progress, maybe. I don't know.
No, wait. Did people try to set you up? That is my favorite, like, stereotype, like, comedically. Maybe you should go together. Like, just hooking up with Hitler or something. Maybe he's free. He just got
Does he have a good
surgery.
job? He make a lot of money.
He makes a good... No, not... You wouldn't say money. It makes a good living.
A good living.
Makes a good living. He knows how to handle you. He's in Argentina right now. The Hitler family. Oh, that would be a great sitcom, or just like the Hitler family, like, hey, I'm hanging out, Billy Hitler. Just like their dog, the Hitler mustache. Obviously, it's a golden retriever with the Hitler mustache. Call him Al. Oh yeah. If it's a girl, Allie, of course. But who are we? We just broke the cardinal rule.
Yeah.
No, with the Godfather.
Aussies. Yeah. They got me. We actually like. It was weird because I usually just hang out with them. I don't really know much about them other than we enjoy movies and hanging out with each other. But we actually like talked.
You ever talked to them?
We did. This was like the first time we really talked. It was weird. And
It'll take me 45 episodes to talk to you.
But
what do you talk about? Oh, you don't have to
I
tell me
was
everything.
just really interested in like how they like met each other and stuff. Like, and they told me like their whole story, and it was cool because like they both
Did
like
you keep going boring?
boring. But I just thought it was amazing how much the both of them have traveled. Like they're very like well-traveled people. Like they've seen the world. I think that's amazing. And
They
I really
lived in a lot of places. Yeah.
Yeah. And like they were really like trying to encourage me to do that, and it got me thinking. That's all.
Oh, is that what? So I gotta blame them? Your current state of woe?
But yeah, it's just I don't know, man. Things are like so. It's just like
Yeah,
so
you
many
have to.
things are gonna change in the next year. Like so many bills are gonna be paid off, and like I'm gonna have a little more freedom to do stuff.
Just go out, man.
Yeah.
You got nothing holding you back here.
I don't, and it's weird because like all I've done my whole life since I was able to work is work. That's all I've ever done. That's all I've known is work. So
yeah. I mean, you can work. We just go out and go somewhere else, you know.
It'd be nice to do like some traveling, see some stuff.
Yeah. You have no real obligation to anything.
No.
You know? And that's kind of the thing. I mean, I love my wife. I love my dogs. But one of the one things in LA, which is kind of my obligation, was only truly to myself.
Yeah.
And not necessarily in just like that selfish way, but in a way like career character building thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just kind of go and you're there and you're just kind of going through a journey.
Yep.
And I recommend anyone just trying that. I mean, it's never too late to do it. Even when you're with someone, you should be able to share those journeys. And that's the Monk and I have done that. We've gone on journeys, but I mean, we need to go on a couple more. I imagine. I think the band is playing downstairs. I don't know.
Oh really?
Do you hear anything? No, never mind.
I just it was weird to me.
For viewers,
like
well, sorry.
the idea of like just going out on your own and doing it. Like that's what they did. Like they both like they just went by themselves and just that's so.
They
I
take
don't
their
know.
whole family.
Like Adam was just telling me like he'd get off a plane somewhere and within like 2 hours he'd have a job just doing whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's fucking cool to me. It really is. I like the idea of it. And it's just like I don't know. I'm starting to get like more bummed out. Like I'm really thinking about it. It's like in 2 months, like come September, Julie's moving out, and like that's been an awesome thing. Like living with her and Stacy was awesome. And then Stacy moved. Stacy's actually moving to go live with her boyfriend in like Tennessee.
Yeah, I saw.
So it's like
Bobby
the
got
the whole band's breaking apart. Like
Bobby got a job down there, right?
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah, he's got a good job down there.
As
And
an air traffic controller or something? Wow,
No.
I had no idea.
hey, he's a pilot too. It's like weird.
He's a goofy dude.
Bobby's awesome.
Yeah.
He's a good dude. But yeah, man, it's just I don't know.
Yeah, there you go.
Some tubas in the background here. It's just kind of bumming me out a little bit because like they're really the only friends I have up in the Manchester area, and like
You're so insular, man.
what do you mean?
No, you just. I do it too sometimes, but I mean, like, if you're in a place, like, you're not. Like, I was listening. You sent me episode 35 today, and I just randomly put it on someplace and talking about how I was giving you naturally giving you shit about. I forget whatever.
Not
put it.
venturing out.
Yeah, just
I
any
listened to the same
topic.
one today.
Yeah. Well, just like going down the street and just like, oh yeah, these places look really cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I never knew they existed. I'm like, what? I think that's part of what maybe that's really existential. like dread kind of.
I think it is.
Yeah.
It's like I'm getting like to that point where I'm turning into the lonely old guy. It's gonna be. That's the way it's going. So
Well, I think that's part of who you are.
No.
I don't think you turn into a lonely old guy. No, I mean, and I don't mean that necessarily as a bad thing. It's just a thing like we all have our habits that either we, that kind of grow with us or just
against us.
Yeah, well, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
that are with us, and we can hack away at them or we can nurture them or do whatever. Because what is that old adage like? Violence and peace are there, and you've got to figure out which beast you want to. What's the old proverb? It's like the violence and peace are like two separate wolves, and you just don't know which one you have to feed. It's kind of like that saying, I butchered the fuck, whatever. It's some vague Western, Westernization of an Eastern proverb. It's just kind of like just wipe your ass twice with toilet paper. It's just the actual translation, but nurture what you think will, find you in a better place. Whatever that, I guess step 1, step out of your apartment. Step 2, just go to a place you hadn't been before or walk down a street you haven't walked down before in your own neighborhood. Because one of the things I like to do, I just like running out and like taking a drive.
I always feel weird doing shit by myself.
Why?
I don't know. It's just like I don't know. If I do anything, it's usually because I have like an objective. Like I'm going to do something.
Well, you do have an objective. It's not like you give your. It's just like I want to map out where I am, and I want to find a place that I've never been to. There are objectives. Even when you say, there's an aimlessness to it. There always is.
This conversation is heightened so much by the fact that there's like zany circus music in the background.
yeah, below us, where we are, there, like the town or one of the jazz bands, like practices every Thursday night, and thankfully at Norcam, they get there around 7ish, maybe a little before 8. And we're out at 5, and so it doesn't really play around with us. 5 viewers now. There we go.
All right, we're
going
popular.
Crazy. But no, yeah, the conversation is a hype, but it's also like it's a weird, fun conversation. And Adam Levitt has already complained that evidently he's tuned in to listen to us eat. And if you listen to the top of the show, Adam, that's exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, but it's
exactly
Vegemite.
Oh God, sorry, Adam. I have more respect for your culture.
Your
murderous,
You're
crazy culture.
You fucking convict. British convict.
You were about to
colony.
say cunt. You were just going to go into cunt, and you just did a U-turn. But no, I think, just in general, maybe you do need that. Maybe your life is going to be that romantic comedy where that girl comes in like, let's go out here. It's like, could you paint me?
I'm Ben Stiller. Clearly, I'm the Ben Stiller.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. This is like the stereotypical like, hey man, that girl's crazy. She just brings it out of me. She's such a bohemian. Oh, she's eating. Oh, what? You're eating a sandwich without bread? And it's just like,
what a free spirit.
And then the monkeys comes on. Then I saw her face.
So many shitty, hacky fucking things happen.
Well, it's not a bad. I think maybe. I don't know. The monk is the opposite of me in many ways, of course.
Yeah.
But I say that like, yeah, right? And everyone's like, what are you fucking trying to get at? But no, in many ways we're very similar, but it's one of those things you find someone sometimes, and do you really want to just be with yourself, you know what I mean?
It's not a matter of that, it's just like, it just seems to be the way things work out. That's all.
Sometimes.
It's just the way things seem to go. That's really what it is. And it's so weird because it's like, I've never been like, it's so fucking like shitty. Like the more I think about it, but it's like all I've been thinking about lately.
Why is it
it's
shitty?
Just like I have such a menagerie of like friends and people I hang out with all the time. So it's like I'm not like,
and that goes away. Yeah.
It's not like I'm just like sitting around like, oh, I'm fucking sad. It's just like, but like the more you like, even when you're out doing stuff, it's just like, I don't know, something is missing, something is lacking, and it's driving me fucking insane. Like really badly lately.
Yeah. Companionship.
I guess.
Deep companionship.
Yeah, if that's whatever the fuck.
A dog, a lizard.
Something.
Some sort of, I don't know, salesman. Some sort of uncle.
It's like, it wouldn't bother me as much if it was like, if like I had like my own like house or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like if that's what was happening. Like, but it's like I'm still doing the apartment thing, and it's like come on, man. It's like
No, I hear you, man. I mean, Lamoka and I should have a house by now, and that's mainly my fault. Really, I mean, but other than that, you know,
it's just like another year. Like another year, less than a year. Like so much of my shit's gonna be paid off, and then it's like I have that freedom to start doing these things, and I'm questioning like what I want to do now. It's like,
just in general.
Yeah. Like I had a good conversation with.
Oh, now we're back to 3 viewers.
Oh, can't
5
handle
to 3.
it.
You can't handle the real,
the deepness,
the banal realness, the exciting. Where will I live next week?
Yeah. Fucking enough of this stupid conversation.
No, well, it's not stupid. I mean, I'm having word. Listen, and I know, and I give you poo-poo about like, oh, let's not talk about movies all fucking podcast. But
I like movies.
I do too. But I also like every other fucking podcast is about like, well, you know what? Like, it's like, oh, fuck you. Like, do you really like? Is it like I could literally read this fucking blurb off of any fucking cookie cutter like shiny website. Like, I want to listen to two people just have a conversation with each other, and that's kind of like weirdly enough, like this is the time you and I can have conversations with each other off of GChat, which is fun and infuriating.
Even GChat is fucking skits.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Well, even then, like, I mean, but it's weird to like if you know typing out your feelings, which should be a book or a fucking weird Kurt Van Houten album.
Turn it into a book. It's the stupidest thing in our GChat conversation.
Oh yeah. Well, I just meant like the phrase "typing out your feelings." It's just like a stupid like fucking like Bono thing. Are you just looking right? Yeah, you're in trance.
No, I'm trying to.
Is it delay?
I'm trying to not shoot into the microphone directly.
Oh, it's all right. It doesn't at this point.
Who cares? A valid point.
Well, I mean, yeah, you turn your head to the right or left. Does it? But yeah. Yeah. No, I think. Listen, I mean. Yeah, I mean, I had a great like, I had good times with you, just like going to your place, recording the podcast, and just going out to like a diner, going to eat, and like, I don't know, exploring. Like, don't you have that sense of exploration in your?
Absolutely.
Your blood?
If I got someone to do it with, like, I'm not just gonna do things by myself.
Really?
Yeah, because if I'm by myself, I would just assume like paint or like play video games or do something like that.
But you can be in. I mean, this is kind of weird. It brings back the McLuhan stuff. I sent you. One of the things he talks about is like being able to prove to yourself to go out somewhere amongst people and to be alone, and then to come back to feel like you're connected. So it's just a weird like inverse.
Interesting. I'm not the like. I was talking to Ryan Terrell, and I went out a couple weeks ago for dinner, and he's a very nice gentleman. He holds hands, holds doors open.
Like after you, just carries you through the foyer.
No, we went out. We just started talking, and like we just do what we always do. We fucking just started philosophizing about just whatever. And
a bunch of nerds.
Yeah, that's what we do. And I was just curious as to like what would he be doing, like, and he was saying like if I wasn't here, he would just probably hang out at the bar, have a beer, and then possibly just go up to a random person and try striking up a conversation.
Yeah, why not?
It's interesting. It's like I wouldn't do that. Like I wouldn't even be here.
Why wouldn't? Why
I
wouldn't
wouldn't even be here?
Well, I guess why? I mean, I think I know the answer, but and it's like typical legal chat. If you know the answer, don't ask the question. But you know, why? What do you think that is on your account?
I don't know.
Or by all accounts, by you.
Part of it being that I have like weird self-esteem issues, and two being that I just don't care. Like I
don't know what that means. You don't care.
Like I said, I would just assume like do something introverted that I enjoy. I like enjoy some sort of like read or just do something like I don't know. Like to me that's just as
fulfilling.
Yeah.
You don't like the thrill of meeting a new person. I mean, it's not, and this isn't to say it's just the same thing. Like, not every book you read is going to be great. Not every movie is going to be great. Not every person you meet is going to change your life, per se. I mean, they do in a way. I mean, everything affects you in certain ways, and it's kind of beautiful like that. But
I think part of it, too, is like, I got so many fucking people in my life. Like, when I stop to think about it, it's ridiculous how many people that I call friend or that I talk to, like, on a daily basis. And it's just, like,
you never know.
But you're still not really that. Like, it doesn't really matter because you're still not that all that connected with them.
Well, I mean, to a degree. I mean, like every relationship is different between people.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's not like you don't have the same. We don't have the same relationship that you have with some other. You know, I don't have the same relation with you that you have with your sister.
Right.
Your sister doesn't have the same relation with me that you have with me. I mean, it's just kind of like
Yeah.
I know
It's
these are
different with
kind
each
of
person you associate with.
an environment. So I mean,
Well,
it. I mean, it's like reading a book. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes people chatting or just going out. I
and
like.
I like doing
Yeah.
that. Like, and I like to go out and do stuff, and like I try to do that, but like it's one of those things like you mentioned as you get older, it's like it's things sort of happen. Like you're like the last one left to the party, so like
Sure.
trying to get everybody to go out and do these things so you can go out and do these things is hard to do, and like I don't want to do them by myself because I'm not really a social creature as it is. So if I'm going to go out, I need some sort of reason to go out, and I wanted to do something,
Yeah.
to hang out. But it's I don't know, man. It's like the more introverted I get, like it doesn't really bother me because like I said, I always have something to do. I'm never not entertained or
Yeah.
have something I could be learning or practicing or doing. It's just
Fondling. Yeah.
it just gets a little. I don't know. It just grates on you after a little while. It's like, is this going to be the rest of my life? Like, is that what this is?
Well, I mean, you could say that about. I remember one of our buddies, Brian Collins, and this isn't. He's a great guy, and he's in La La Land. He's in LA right now, and congrats, actually, he just had a kid.
Yep.
What's the child's name? I don't even know.
Lowell Collins.
What's his? Yeah, I know.
Meatloaf.
Meatloaf. Bat out of hell. Actually, Brian, I'm sorry, we don't know the name of your kid. I don't think I've seen it, and I blame you for it for not projecting it throughout Facebook land. But I did send him a text. But yeah, well, I guess what I'm getting at. I remember right after he went to Fitchburg too, where I went, and he, went for video and film. I remember him in Mass before he went to LA. He had a job with this company, this effects company, and he would tell me how he would just kind of go to work and then come home and watch sitcoms or whatever. I'm like, oh man, that sounds like death. That sounds like a fucking walking dead person to me.
Yeah.
Just one of those. And all for the sake of, is this my life? And this is what I'm going to do. And I've had conversations with my buddy Mike Hansen, another nice dude. And these are people also like Brian and Mike, who I've had relationships with them in the past, and I could easily go and possibly hang out or just say hello. And Mike has a kid too, actually, and he lives in fucking by the Quincy ways. So I mean that's a hike and a half. But I remember him saying to me yeah, I just don't want to be that guy who has a beer every day and watches a Sox game in the summer.
Yeah.
Even though people take their solace in that and whatever, but yeah, I mean, is this just a series of repetitious actions?
Mine's more of an instance of I just find new things to put into it. I'm not home for more than the time it takes to sleep. You know what I mean? It's I'm still out doing stuff, but it's just.
Oh, you're just going. Wait, I thought you said you
busy.
weren't going out. Oh, you mean just working?
Yeah, working or I'm always hanging out or doing something, but it's it's always a solo affair. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But
I thought that was the. I thought that was the worry.
Well, kind of, but
that you couldn't go out by yourself and just talk to.
I don't mean by myself, but it's I'll go hang out with a buddy and go watch a movie or something like that.
Okay.
It's never anything I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I'm trying to say. It's just fucking
so wait,
stressing me out.
so just I'm sorry, this is more me, and I apologize, but from what I gather, it's just you going out to something with other people.
Yeah.
By yourself, as opposed to just doing something by yourself.
Right.
So that's the big, and because it's getting increasingly difficult because of other people accruing in it or assimilating families or just doing whatever,
Yeah, my sister,
or just life just. Oh, how did she put it?
My sister said something to me the other day. She was she equated me to my uncle, and she was you remind me of our uncle. She's you just sort of do whatever you want, and then you'll just do something, and you get really good at it, and then you just do something else, and then get really good at that, and that's just what you've done your whole life.
A lot of hubris.
A
lot of hubris there.
I was just kind of all right, well, that's and then I stopped to think about it because how I know my uncle is just.
How you see him? Yeah.
He was just a lonely dude who fucking. That's exactly what my uncle did though. That's what he did.
Well, I mean, did he ever have
kids or anything? No.
Or anything? I mean,
he got married. And
lovers.
got took for a ride, but.
Oh really?
Well.
Was that interesting or weird?
What do you mean?
I don't know. It took for a ride. You mean?
Oh,
like,
it was just shitty marriage and
oh,
stuff.
that sucks.
But yeah, and then like last time I saw him was like probably almost 10 years ago. He had just had a heart attack and stuff.
Oh,
and I
wow.
was just like,
Is it your dad's brother or your
my
mom's
brother.
Are they all around here?
Oh, I don't see them. I haven't seen any of my family in like 15 years.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it's just like
There we go. In
The
the
music is
background,
amazing.
tubas.
yeah, it's such a weird thing, and like I need goals and constant things to pursue in my life, or I go insane. I think that's why I'm going insane right now. Is like
'Cause
I
you
don't
have
really
a goal?
have. I don't really have anything right now. Like I don't have anything I'm really striving for right now.
I don't have any. I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh, but it always.
No,
is,
that's fine. Like I don't really have anything I'm striving for right
you
now.
poured
like,
your heart out, and then here comes the laughter.
Oh, it's all right.
It's all right. I'll remember this when I buy that Colt. Colt. No, you do though. I mean, you have like Jonah still isn't like Jonah is a project that is in perpetuity. You know what I mean?
I know. And I'm not. It's just.
I know what you mean though.
I need things to fill the void, where the
Yes.
void fucking grows.
Oh no, I agree because
And,
the loneliness sits there, and we need our idle hands. It's that old, it's that kind of vague Christianic mentality or more Protestant, Christianic.
Idle hands.
Or like Protestant kind of the weird work ethic of if I'm not doing anything at this right fucking second, I am a piece of shit. And you know what I mean?
And I know that more than anybody because I've built my whole life around
More
that.
than any.
That's how I base my life.
No, I hear you. I mean, I brought, well, just to let you know how I feel your pain. I went to go see The Amazing Spider-Man 2 on Tuesday. I took a day off. I went, and it's like, I recommend for anyone who is by a showcase cinema, which they told here, we'll delve into other more fun things
We do
for
have
all
to have
your
some movie
viewers.
conversations because
Fun stuff for people who don't want to kill themselves. And fun stuff for people who do want to kill themselves. That was weird. That should be blanket. Like, fun stuff should be good for people who want to kill. Like, they
What it
need
is,
it. Yeah. Why is it like you don't want to be dreary? Dreary things should put you in the other direction, but it doesn't. No, it just I went to Amazing Spider-Man 2 at Showcase Cinemas, and it was $7.50 for Tuesday if it's not a new movie. So all day Tuesday, $7.50, which is awesome. I recommend if there's a Showcase Cinema by you, and you don't get free movies, go check it out.
Free movies.
But yeah, I brought a notepad with me because I'm like, I'm just gonna do some writing while I'm there. And I didn't really do any writing because there were people there and I got self-conscious about it.
Strike dicks. Show.
Yeah, just like but it's look at it. It's a flip book of like it's ancient. Like oh my god, it's like the Iliad, just like through dick.
The Iliad. Nice.
Yeah, but no, I mean I know what you mean by that, and I know the feeling of the next task because I think also we're like part of our things too are where we're meant for a long burn. I'm a patient guy, but I also like jumping on the next thing because the beginning of a new thing is the most glorious thing. It really is. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like the beginning of a new relationship with somebody because it's like it's a what do they call it? It's the honeymoon period.
No.
Like a lot of that, I thrive on a lot of that, and I get in trouble because I thrive on a lot of that. Just in general, like trying to take things on. But,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. As far as your kind of void, I mean, there is plenty of stuff, but I mean, I guess it's not. It can't be work. I think not to say it is a problem, but it's just a behavior of putting that work in that void. It's like that's the thing that's kind of the loose Band-Aid for it at the moment, I guess. But I mean, I don't know. Just try going out doing what. Just like call Ryan and be like, hey man, if you were to go out to a bar, what would you do? What would be the first line you said to somebody? And not even just to pick someone up, but just to talk to someone.
Oh, dude, I've seen that motherfucker. Like, he breaks ice so
Sure.
well. He's so fucking good at just engaging people in conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm envious of that ability because he's a charismatic person.
Right here.
And I think that's a good talent to possess. I just don't possess it. I think it's mainly just
You're okay.
it's just apathy.
Just don't heavy breathe on anyone. I don't think it's apathy. I don't think you're apathetic. Apathetic would mean you don't care. Like, I mean, like, not really. Like, you truly care because we're having this conversation.
That's a valid point.
But I know what you like. You're indifferent. I think being indifferent
Yeah.
is like not caring means just like whatever. Like not having really any sliver. Of, well, maybe I'm getting too extreme, but not having a sliver of compassion, or you know what I mean, or just
nihilists about nothing.
Don't worry about these men are cowards. The second Lebowski thing I did reference today, but yeah, man, I don't know. I think you're charismatic enough. I think if you're like, it's like the training wheels thing. Like when you're a kid, you're riding that bike. If someone just gets you in that right mode, you're good to go. I think you can honestly host a conversation. But also, some people are fucking just stupados.
Yeah.
And just like fools and weirdos, not fun weirdos.
Yeah.
And you're just like, ugh. Like I don't want to talk to you, and like, or you could just go like, you really think that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus didn't think it. It's like, listen, lady. Listen,
we gotta
kid.
talk.
Yeah.
We gotta talk about how stupid you are.
Well, and I think you'd have a great, and maybe you could be a good, but I think you could be great at being like, listen. I mean, I imagine this is what you think. Saying it to this person. I imagine this is what you think. But have you ever considered this angle? Have you ever considered this? I mean, this is where I'm coming from a little bit. You seem nice, and you're pleasant enough. So why bother being this weird about it?
That's awesome.
Well, I mean, like...
my whole approach needs to change. Like, it was funny, like, one of the ladies I worked with for like 10 years. And she was like, I don't know what the hell we were talking about, but... like she was like, yeah, she's like, you're stubborn. She's like, you're pig-headed. I was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I don't even mean that in a bad way. She's like, it just is who you are. I was just like, oh, all right.
I'm sorry, Jason Davinsky. Welcome to the Stock Talk, Jay. Well, thank you for listening too. We mentioned you earlier. No, I mean, yeah. I mean, I always love when people mention, like, I don't mean this in a bad way, but you're fucking ugly. And I'm like, it's like, what? No, but it's a good thing. It's like, I don't know.
It's just like
I know what you mean.
Like, it constantly makes me, my current state of affairs makes me question, like, how it is I treat people, because I try to be conscientious of how I treat people.
Not me.
But it seems like no matter what I do, I'm like misconstrued as an asshole for some reason or another. So it's just fucking. I'm trying to just like not say anything now. Like I'm just trying not to say anything because it just always comes out wrong. Or
just don't. I mean,
like it's so hard to like. Everybody seems so fucking sensitive about everything.
Well, just read someone on a level and just have use an honest question. And I don't mean like, because this is actually I want to bring up one of the things that got me upset, and for Jonah. And it's a fun story because it just why'd you sniff your pits?
My armpit, it just smells like fucking cat litter. My armpits smell like a cat box.
I can't smell a damn thing. This is radio smelling his pits.
Very musky.
Yeah. No, I can't really.
That's good. You're safe. You're in the clear.
Well, a little bit, but this reminds me, harkens back to like a Jonah thing where, for those people who've seen the movie, like I had been interviewing him up until this one point, like till the end of our first trip, and you're like, hey, I want to step in for a second, and then just the mood and everything just kind of dropped, and you remember that? Yeah, and we all had an idea of what you were going to do, but we're like, maybe he'll read it, he'll know when to step on the brakes, and then we're just kind of like, we all just kind of looked at each other like, fuck, all right, and then we're just, all right, come on. So we just kind of got you out there and went back in on it, and it was a good cop, bad cop kind of situation. And by the look on your face, this was the first time.
Oh, you're talking about the family. I think I'm just trying to think like what the scenario was.
It was by the castle.
Grill? Yeah.
It was by the castle.
Well, it's because I felt like no one was asking the questions that needed to be asked.
Well, I will say that. Well, all right. Well, why do you think we weren't asking point blank range?
Because everybody was afraid to. Not afraid of repercussions, but afraid to ask the questions that needed to be asked due to like worrying about hurting his feelings.
I think you're wrong. I think that's a wrong assessment. Okay. I understand why you did it, and I think the frustration was genuine for everyone. But we eventually got everything because we had to go through. I mean, we did. You're right. It was eventual pushing though. We couldn't.
I don't like to.
You step on the throat.
Yeah, I just like to fucking get to the heart of the matter.
But you have to trust that you'll get there, but you have to. It's just like anything, just like equate it to a match.
Yeah.
Are you going to overpower like a 400-pound guy by yourself, or do you have to? Oh, I'm gonna have to get creative here.
I think it's different. Like a physical confrontation is completely different than like a verbal confrontation.
Oh no, I disagree. I think you both wrestle with the same kind of gymnastics.
But I feel like if you just just stop tiptoeing and say what you want to fucking say.
There's
and just get to the heart of the matter. I think.
There's
a
difference
it's the
between.
Way to do things.
Okay,
Clearly I'm wrong though. Clearly I'm wrong though because I'm not perceived as being as sensitive to other people's.
No, but I think some people. I think some people respond to that better, and some don't. I think they're not to say that. I don't know if that was you or that was me. No. I think. Oh, that's awesome. You have that in your background. That's a Wilder, right?
Yep.
John has
no, that's Ray N. I think it is.
Right. Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's the first.
Oh,
one,
yeah, that's right.
Poster.
Ray N. teaser poster for My Name is Jonah. He has John has it as a home screen, and it threw me off. Okay. No. I think confronting someone, kind of point blank and with kind of your raw energy, or just with. No holds barred. I'm trying to think of the right word for just kind of brash approach.
No.
Some people are like, oh, all right. Some people are cool with that, and some people are like, oh, and it all depends. Like, well, that's not what I. But sometimes there are assumptions made.
Yeah.
And that's like it on both sides, and that's with everyone. And it just kind of you're trying to feel out the waters. It's not necessarily like. Because you want to respect someone too.
Yeah.
And if someone is like being like calling bullshit or saying bullshit, like, hey man, that's kind of bullshit. I mean, like, what do you really think of that? Like, and you can always give them a little sugar with it, and it helps. I mean, kind of pat it a certain way, but it was that situation there at the castle. It was just kind of like we had to ease back in because he wasn't ready. I mean, we were kind of poking, prodding a bit, but he was weirdly not ready. And was that tuba or was that?
Oh, it's tuba.
All right.
I'd let you know.
Because for a second I thought it was a flint. Yeah, but no, I know what you mean. Like, and some people don't respond well to any. They'll sniff out your bullshit. Like in my case, they'll sniff out your shit right away, and then you have to just be like, oh, all right, and then just be like, well, what? And then you just kind of adjust on the fly and just be like, all right, well, fuck, whatever. What do you want to talk about?
For me, like, my patience level for people in general is very minimal. Like, it's not good. I don't have very good patience with people, so like I don't want to waste my time in a conversation. It's like, let's just fucking, not to say that a conversation is a
I know what
waste
you
of time.
mean. I know what you mean, but it just like someone hands you just like a pamphlet of what this is what you're doing, this is what we're all about.
This is the objective. But like, it's just the best way to have a conversation is to fucking get to the heart of the matter. Just discuss what you got to discuss. Like, stop tiptoeing around an issue because you feel like it's not, like, you're worried about somebody's feelings. It's like, just fucking take what I'm trying to say at face value and not take it personally.
Sure, but I think to a degree that works. But also, like, if you say it a certain way and then like their feelings, it all depends what you say. It's like, yeah, your dad kind of was a pussy about that. It's like, what? You got hit by a train.
Oh, it translates even worse online. There's so many times
that's true.
Dude, yeah.
Hey, Monk.
Oh, Phil's talking to the lady.
Hello, Monk.
It's monk time. The monk hour.
Hello.
Hi, Steph.
What are you doing, Monk?
Steph loves Sock Talk. She's our number one fan.
Oh, we'll do. Well, you sound exhausted.
Phil talking to his wife.
She is exhausted.
She's exhausted. Steph, did you have a good day?
John, what? She did.
Awesome.
She was at the prom last night. She had a date.
Nice.
Yeah, someone's creeping in my territory. Some pretty cool 70-year-old. All right, Monk, I love you. I'll talk to you later.
Awesome.
She did. She actually did go to the prom last night.
Nice.
She was one of the
chaperones.
Well, no, she's one of for the class of 2014. She's one of the like not officers. I forget what they have. Like Like they have, oh man, I've just been
No fun
lost.
police.
Yeah,
Prom.
partly is. They
Don't
call
get too close.
they call her the fun sponge. Some of the kids. No, she's like one of their like class officers, like teacher wise, or yeah, for that class, her and another teacher. But and she went. She's exhausted. She didn't sleep that well.
Yeah.
Because after prom party, yeah, booty, booty, booty.
Somebody doing loose shots.
Which apparently, well, not. I mean, I shouldn't say apparently. Like I'm confused or like kind of surprised by it, but it's a good way to obviously get any sort of STD or like any sort of like mouth herpes.
Yeah.
Like everyone's putting their mouth on it. Some guy's putting his fucking balls on the bottom of the luge. Just want to cool off. But you all right?
Oh yeah.
We're all crying
Flash in
here.
my eye.
We'll just call it crying. We'll just do what we do.
Cries for pussies.
Yeah. For vaginas, they cry a lot.
They weep.
A weeping vagina.
Tasty tears.
Penises cough blood, which is horrible for it.
I come blood.
I come buckets. No, I mean that's online. I guess you get it, but who like? But it's a weird thing too because like a lot of things can be read a certain way without intonation, without just eye-to-eye contact.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
I hate it too because like Jay, if you're listening right now, like I hope you know that. I really hope you know I love you, and I fucking if I feel like Jay's one of the ones I do it the most with.
Oh,
like
yeah.
just like sort of like it seems like I'm being a dick, but I'm really not. So it's like I hate it when. And then, like, I feel like he's just like.
Did that happen this week? I think it might have.
It might have. It probably did. If I
the sock talk. Oh yeah, the college thing.
Oh yeah. See, yeah, that's a perfect example of what I mean. Like that whole conversation is a great example of.
No, I mean I think. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'll chime in after.
Basically, like some college wants to teach like Miley Cyrus as like a fucking.
But what was the what was the detail?
Like
what were the details?
Like something about the social impact or like how like I couldn't wrap my head around it.
I mean that's vaguely interesting to see how they approach it.
To me, it's a complete waste of everybody's time. Like that, like the fact that is gonna accumulate your GPA into something that you can go out into the world with makes me want to fucking. Rethink the whole school system needs restructuring.
Well, no,
I mean, ridiculous. Like that's just such a fucking waste of everybody's time. And then Jay was like,
"It could be a blow." No, I kind of agree with him in the way like it being a blow-off class. Some blow-off classes are there. Some blow-off classes can be really interesting, really fun.
I don't know. It's a completely ridiculous and useless waste of money that. Like it's bad enough that the education loan systems are.
Yeah, I think that's criminal.
Like,
I think that's criminal.
Yeah, and that's not gonna help the matters. Like, oh, what did you get a loan for? I spent $4,000 on a Miley Cyrus class. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, but that also is.
And then you don't pay for it, and then everyone else has to pay for it.
Yeah,
or you go out into the world and that was part of your GPA. Part of your GPA, whatever it might be, was because you got an A in a Miley Cyrus.
Sure,
class.
but that person will be like either fired if they're not. You know what I mean? If they're not competent, they'll be weeded out. It's not like they're going to be like unless.
I think the fact that is like a course that's being offered, like it proves vice versa. That.
No, I mean no. What I'm saying that keep in mind, like I'm agreeing with your premise that it pads their GPA or whatever, but afterwards if they're not like capable of doing whatever job they've got, be it through scammy means or legit means, like if they're good for the job, they do it. And part I've realized through being at a job, which I love, and also seeing other people. I will like being the kind of hermit person or being like the nerdy guy. Like I've seen people at access stations and other organizations and other video production houses and other like stuff do certain things that's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like you could be doing something, and like just like the behaviors and just like the lack of knowledge on certain things. I'm just like floored, and it like they have a job because they do a certain thing within that organization.
Yeah,
and just like I don't see it on here, and I have an expectation that everyone should know A, B, and C, but not everyone will because not to say that's unrealistic, but just not everyone will, and my standards aren't. Sometimes they can be a little nuttier than others, and sometimes I think that's good, and sometimes I think it's bad. It all depends on what it is, but people will retain a job based on the environment of that job, not necessarily skills.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, that's very true. I've seen that a
What?
lot.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, okay.
Like, what exactly is your skill set?
What do you do here?
What
Yeah.
do you do here?
Yeah.
Exactly.
But their skill is to be the cog,
Well,
which is, you know, and I might say that might sound very hippie of me, and sometimes that's the good thing to be. It all depends what you're doing it for. I mean, people need to dig ditches.
yeah.
There, you know what I mean? And I didn't mean it like that. I think digging ditches is actually kind of, well, not, I mean, it is. It's a tough fucking job.
Easy racket.
Yeah, and it's not really a racket because you're not. It's not a glamorous like, oh, look at him, dig ditcher number 85. Look at that guy, and all the babes. No, I don't know, man. But stemming back to your whole existential crisis on and just.
I think it stems from me needing. I need to figure out my own shit. I just got to figure my shit out. It's like trying to. Like, I hold everybody else up to standards that I hold myself up to, and I'm my own biggest fucking critic and worst enemy. So, like, I just don't. Like, I have a hard time relating because I don't understand certain things.
Sorry.
It fucking drives me insane. So it's not being insensitive; it's just complete lack of comprehension. That's.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you could say someone isn't sensitive, you're just being. I don't know. I mean, lack of comprehension. I guess you could chalk it up to being
Like, if someone, like, I want someone to
insensitive.
fucking. Yeah, I want someone to
Good
address
for
me as I address other people. Like, I don't want you to fucking. Like, bullshit to me, and I just want you
I
to
want
tell
all
me
your bullshit.
exactly what the fuck it is that's on your mind, and just get right to it. Like, I don't like my time being wasted. Like, I want to have a conversation that is actually gonna get to something, and everyone's so worried about offending someone that usually, like, the matter is never discussed. So is it a fear of offending somebody, or
Yeah, I mean, I think, but with attitude sometimes it's like, I don't care what I say. It's just like, I don't care who I offend. It's like, yeah, but I mean, like, there's a difference between being PC as my great adulation for the great MC Paul, the Jewish rapper MC Paul Barman put it. There's a difference between being PC and being decent.
Yeah.
And I think being decent towards someone's needs and being slightly respectful, as opposed to just like blurting things out.
I think you can be direct with it without being disrespectful.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think things.
But the problem with being direct is, like I said, it's often misconstrued. Like, I don't have any intentions of being disrespectful. It's just usually the way that's. Yeah,
I'm just looking. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. I just had a conversation with Jay. Yeah, it's just I just prefer a direct approach. I think so many more things would get done in the fucking world if everybody was just more direct about things.
Sure. I mean, and maybe we wouldn't. I mean, maybe people would be like, all right, I don't want to do this because, to be honest, the world runs and fuels bullshit. It's like that ever-growing cycle. I think being more direct and being like, hey, I don't really want to stand for this. It's like, oh yeah, well, I don't want to do this, and so like, well, I'm walking away because we all do things we don't want to do and say things we don't want to say. In a couple capacities. I know you do, and I won't mention it as far as we know from work and other stuff. So I mean, yeah, we all have to.
Yeah.
And we'd all rather do some other, because I would fucking walk away from so many obligations if it's not buying in, and it's not. I love certain amounts of bullshit because it's just like you get to play and just kind of like, that's the thing with flirting with people. It was always fun when I was in the game.
Oh.
Hey, wait a minute.
Big player.
Well, not being part fucking cave troll and being, oh man.
He's all cock.
Yeah, just a giant pee-pee. No, there's a level that it can be fun, and we're just like, playing with the language is always fun. As long as you're not, going after someone or hurting, as long as you're not being a predator. Well, the world's my prey, as they tell me. I don't know, man. Fuck, man. I don't know. Get a woman. Get a hooker. I don't know. Let's go to the strip club. Let's go. But here's I remember you told me about, and I'm not to degrade this and put it down to, or oversimplify it. You just need a woman. You just need something. It's like, what's that?
It might not hurt.
I could
use a little touch.
You could use a gay man, or like a couple gay men, like a house full of gay men.
I got a few gay friends, but Yeah.
No, just to hang out.
Oh, to
and
hang
then
out?
just
Oh,
to
yeah.
hang out. That's my universal jerking off, to hang out.
Dude, I wish I was gay. That'd be the easiest thing in the world. But
It's
no.
like I was looking through, because for the crowdfunding video, I was looking through your old pics, because I was trying to grab some of the old, like, weird douchey
Yeah.
pics. I'm like, yeah, that could be like, this is the gay community. This is like a velour, because you wear like a velour suit
yeah.
and one thing. I'm like, Jesus.
I have a good
I'm like, I can
collection
make
of weird clothes.
it. Yeah. Like, that could work. You would be a star, my friend. You'd be a Craigslist star.
Oh, dude, yeah, like I said, I got a few gay buddies, and they're the fucking best people. They're the best people, but
They're better than regular people.
they are for the most part.
They differentiate. Well, there's a freeness to it. That's
Yeah.
pretty awesome. I
I'm
will
envious
say.
of their fucking carefree
Yeah.
existence.
And I
It's
also,
always so charming.
well, do you also feel, because one of my best buds in LA is gay, and he was a real cool dude, and he always made me feel better about myself.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, I don't look that bad. It is one of those weird in America. Anywho, all right, I don't know where I'm going with it, but no, but it is like that weird. You think you need someone.
I don't know what I need. Like I think that like the problem has to be me. Like there's something inherently wrong with me or my behavior that needs to change.
You have a chip in you that needs to be taken out.
Something needs to happen. I need to be rewired. The fucking Terminator.
Just a lot of drugs. Just a lot of drugs.
But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just fucking eating at me lately, and I can't figure it out. It's driving me insane.
Battle it with emotional eating.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Actually, I do want to go to a buffet at one point.
I can't do buffets anymore.
Ooh,
Usually,
excuse
just like
Is it because of the way you built your body?
not that. It's like for one part of it is how gross you feel after, but it's also like my food standards are a lot higher than they used to be. Back when I was like 14, I'd be like, all right. We used to just go to those buffets like all the fucking time.
No,
Now
it's
I
true.
don't want to eat that. That looks fucking. There's a reason that's $8 for as much as
Sloppy
you want.
biscuit, yeah. No, I agree. Like when JB and I went to show Jonah The Cut back in March. Like we went to a buffet place because we wanted to go to the Chinese place we went to. Remember that time?
Mm.
And I guess it was closed, or like they were redoing it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, it's been like a couple of years. I'm like, oh shit. So I went to like this hometown buffet-ish place, and I think I mentioned this on the show, but yeah, like I'm like this food is actually very shitty. It's like
Yeah.
it was like 14. It was like expensive-ish to go like for the three of us to get in there. But yeah, no, I mean like there are some fun like a breakfast buffet. Fuck it, like that's you can't.
A breakfast buffet, it's a totally different animal.
I agree.
Breakfast is the best thing in the fucking world.
It is, and you really can't mess up that
No.
much. I mean, runny eggs, sure. And like I like crispy bacon. That's just who I am. That's who I am as a person, people. You just have to deal. And I think I've offended a lot of hoggers out there. They call them hoggers. They like them. Well, actually, my buddy, our mutual pal Jeremy, he likes he doesn't like crispy bacon. He likes more.
Really?
Yeah.
Like fatty bacon?
Yeah, he still likes the taste. I'm not a big.
We gotta hang out with Jeremy. Jeremy's a fucking cool
I do.
guy.
I invited him to the Thingamabob,
Oh, that's right.
but he can't go.
Oh.
He has to go to, and we'll have to have him on the show at one point.
Come on,
He's
Jeremy.
he's a good dude.
Get it together.
But no, yeah, I guess this whole point is eat your feelings away, and or yeah, I don't know, man. I know you've been through a couple of weird things. I think it coupled with you've had a couple of relationship things.
Oh, dude, women are my fucking Achilles heel. I
Well,
have
I mean,
the worst luck.
there's no one's real strength.
Yeah, I have the fucking.
Sorry,
I'm
ladies.
such a
No, I
fucking
don't.
moron with chicks.
Actually, I do love my
It's the
wife. She's
worst.
kind of my strength. She's my ride.
But yeah, I don't know, man. It's like and that's the thing too is like since I don't really possess empathy even for myself, like I can't sit here and feel sorry for myself. So all I can do is like even talking about this is fucking painful for me because this is like something I would never discuss.
It's great podcast.
This is an
though.
episode of the podcast I will never listen to.
Well, we were talking
this will
about
get
how,
a visit from me.
Well, I was even thinking I've never really opened up on. I mean, I kind of do, don't I? No,
Oh yeah.
I do.
Way more frequently than I do. This is maybe the first
Well,
real thing I've discussed on this show.
Well, no, you've discussed the, and I've tried to break that barrier.
Well.
And by planting things in your house and like telling Julie to
Subliminal
leave,
messages.
just constructing this whole your life up to lead to this episode.
He needs to develop as a human being.
Yeah, exactly. I put everything in motion. Your boss is
You're becoming a great cyborg.
Yeah.
Let's turn you into a human.
huh.
Well, yeah. I mean, do you think you're cyborging out?
I don't know.
To a degree, no, I think you
Just
said
like-
it for some reason, or comedic effect aside.
But yeah, like I said, I have no real empathy, or I don't
Real empathy?
Yeah, I don't emote.
What do you mean?
I
You
don't know. I don't
have
understand.
empathy. Stop
I
it.
really don't. Like, I don't understand a lot of things when it comes to with the
You
way-
humans.
Yeah, I hate to
You'll
say
learn one day, John.
that.
No, I think you're. Listen. I think you're just being. I think you're just in a weird place where you don't know where your life's gonna go,
Yeah.
and that just has you in a place where you're
It's
like,
very stressful.
well, it's stressful, and also you want to control. You're a controlling guy too,
Oh, yeah.
and I don't mean. I mean, part negative, part
Yeah.
good, because it's not good to be out of control with everything.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one thing that people. You're too controlling. It's like, well, would you rather me on the other side of the spectrum?
I like to have my. I don't know. I have my shit together.
I think you're
I have my shit
relatively.
together,
Relatively.
and, like, I also am adaptable to situational change.
I think it's just good for you to let go in some cases. You
Right.
know what I mean? I think it just in the sense of things are going to happen. I'll be okay. I mean, you let or I die, and then it's over, and it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Because, and that's the thing. I think you can branch out too, depressingly. But hey, why not? It's the spirit.
It's the depressing show.
Yeah, we always have them. After talking 15 minutes about shit farts or whatever, and
This is all for you, Brian.
that's
right?
all for you. BN.
Brian wanted
Brian
the
Engels.
real reality.
Well, it is like our first episode is pretty. I mean, we're always kind of real or whatever, and I get pissed off when we talk about like happy shit or we talk about like fuck this. Let's bring it down to my level. I'm like, if it's not morose, it ain't ain't for me. But there was this thing on NPR. I think it was the TED Talk thing they do on that. Which TED Talk to me, they can be awesome,
It's a
but
mixed
also
bag.
it
It's a
yeah,
mixed bag.
and it talk about hierarchies again. They're kind of a weird fucking like a scientific community when they really want to hold something by the ball.
Yeah.
And because I know you're not a big Sarah Silverman fan, right?
It's
You're
sort of.
Mets? Yeah.
I don't care either way.
Really?
Yeah.
I enjoy her. I think she's good. I recommend her show. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But that's also a tribute to Rob Schrab, a guy who did the Disposable Assassin. I think I've discussed it on the show before, but check out the Sarah Silverman show anyways, because there are a lot of great people in it. Even if you don't like her, it's a fucking awesome show.
She's not bad. She did a full frontal, and I like that.
Oh yeah, no, I think she's a beautiful comedic gal, and I think she's hilarious. But
Yeah, you know what? I take that back. She is pretty fucking funny. Like, she has a good,
if you know,
dirty, direct approach.
yeah, and if you know it's an act, and she had put it one time pretty succinctly and simply, if you know what I'm saying is the exact opposite of what I mean.
I think, like, as female comedians go, she's like got to be one of the best. Like, I think it's her, like, the fact that she's directed. Like, I've seen her do some really spontaneous, quick-witted stuff.
Yeah, she's
And like anyone who's
there
like
are no
a good,
slouches.
yeah, anyone who's like who could be a dick really like on the fly. I think it takes some skill.
I know. I've worked at it. But yeah, I was listening on NPR to one of their TED Talk like shows with John like a Sunday or whatever. Man, this is a fucking plug show, if anything. But yeah, I was listening to that, and they had one about a gentleman talking about how we have our fascination, with death, the afterlife, and living beyond it. Like, be it with the afterlife, being immortal, essentially through science, or religion, or whatever, or And it's true. We all have this thing where we want to live on, be it like I'll be in another body, or I'm going to be in heaven, or in the stars. I'll be in the astral plane, whatever, or whatever afterlife, whatever preaching ascribes to. And it just kind of, I think it meshes with like what you're going through. Like if something doesn't happen, or if it ends, it ends. And the finality of it, I don't think anyone really appreciates that. Yeah, I'm fucking glad this is gonna end. Like, you know what I mean?
In some ways, makes you wonder. Like, the whole notion of immortality, I think, is awesome. But at the same time, it's like most people don't have the patience for life as it is anyway.
Well,
like, it's fucking hard.
Yeah, and
It's grating.
Yeah, and it gives you, but it also gives you like the litmus, or it gives you like that goal, or that kind of that time frame to appreciate what it is that is the finite and kind of fragility of life.
But I feel like you'd probably take more chances if you had the ability to be immortal, because you wouldn't care.
Sure.
You'd be a lot more
but
carefree.
if you took some of those chances in this, and chances being like I'd jump off the Grand Canyon, I guess if I were immortal. like do Acme based like things
Full
like
of Highlander. I
yeah,
love everything.
exactly. But I mean, and also if you're immortal, it must suck because if we, as we've seen, as Louis brought up, Louis who our buddy isn't on Facebook
Oh, yeah.
anymore, but he writes for Bleeding Cool News and the good duder. Brought up about Wolverine, which I agree with him. Like being Wolverine would be shitty because like there's some awesome characteristics to him as a character, but his fucking history's shitty. Like
Yeah.
everyone he loves and cares for is dead, and they continue to die, and people are after him. You know, it's like being the toughest guy in the yard, and in so many ways, everyone wants a piece of you. But also, like he can't fucking die, and if you can't die, like how bored you can maybe at one point like yeah I fucking did everything. Maybe they shoot you into space and you just kind of just you know what I mean, you just kind of float.
Just fucking spend 50 years doing push-ups because you could. Whatever, I'm just gonna do this for about. I don't know.
Well,
There's so much you could do and learn. I don't think it would ever get
how did I
boring.
think it would get to that with you? 50. I don't know, but you wouldn't think you'd be like 50 years of push-ups like I wish I could kill myself, and you'd have a new appreciation for life.
I'd be doing. You could do fucking everything. You learn every language on the planet. You could
Sure.
see every culture. You could do live myriads of lives. Just
Yeah, I think you could do that,
amazing.
but also you could probably do that in like 150, 200 years.
Maybe.
And then what would you? I mean, I think
I don't know.
I'd probably, you know what? I'd live in the Amazon for a year,
Oh,
and it'd be
God.
fucking hell.
Yeah.
I'd try to live in the Amazon River. You know what I mean? Just wouldn't leave it. And maybe because there's so much fucking shit that can kill you and
Yeah.
be weird.
Just try to be tough. Just be super
Try
tough.
or maybe I'm just so just everything that pinches me I get freaked out about. And then eventually I'm like, oh, it's cool. And I find a way to communicate with them, but they still think I'm an idiot. And then they're like, you fucking moron. Like, you piece of shit. They still like tease me like, oh no. I try to teach them about anti-bullying and they just fucking urinate and
Give
lay
you a
eggs on
wedgie.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
Piranhas in your fucking bed sheet.
yeah, well, they're just little fucking bugs, not even fish, but bugs that just go up your urethra without a moment's hesitation. Like, oh, what's that you got there? All right, here's a canal for me. And I don't know. Yeah, man. Hey, just picture like a bug, and you like, say you're like passed out, like you're like, oh shit, for like a couple of days you have to recuperate, and you got like 18 bugs up your like in your urethra,
Ugh.
and they're just you're pissing them out. And they're just trying to hold on with their claws.
That's fucking terrible to think about.
It's what I do every day. I just stick my dick in that thing.
Ugh.
No, I'm sorry, everybody.
Hellish nightmare.
It is. Well, I mean, it's also like when you think about stuff with your Johnson Lebowski. You think about stuff like pertaining to that, like how much you can't really control it. You know what I mean?
Like your dick?
Well, I mean, just like or going
things,
inside of your
yeah.
urethra. I mean, like who? I mean, where's the device that you have laying around for that?
Ugh.
I don't know. You have pee power, but that doesn't hurt. Man, John is visibly.
Speaking of piss, I gotta go piss.
Oh, you gotta take one? All right. So we will divulge a bit from that. We'll see what we can go to right now. Well, in general, things for me are all right, I guess. I think I've been too lazy on numerous things. I've struggled to hang out with the missus. No, I haven't actually. That's not true. I've actually done more to hang out with her, so it's been actually pretty decent. But that actually has had the we had the adverse effect of when you think you have not when you think, but you have obligations to other things, but you've been pushing the relationships you deeply care about in the opposite direction, try to pull it towards you, and it's been good. I've been able to get back on like a good streak with with my monk. That's been nice. What can I say? It's been nice. Like Memorial Day weekend was nice. And I just hope the weather in New England stays steady. It never does, obviously, because that old Mark Twain saying, if you live in New England, if you don't like the weather in New England, go fuck yourself. I think that's the Mark Twain saying about waiting around for it to change. But yeah, I don't know. That's how it's been. I feel weird now. I'm going back now to my radio days, DAZE of when I was in college radio. And also briefly in LA I was on the station, which is fucking weird. And I both loved it and hated it because I had to do a radio voice, my DJ Dan voice. But that was part of a character to another DJ who was very yeah, too upbeat for me, and it just was kind of weird to kind of see that whoa, and just every AM, or I guess back in the 70s, I guess FM radio was seen as whoa, never will do it, DJ Dan in the house, giving it to you. Making you feel warm inside. What are you doing there, Johnny boy? At your urination station, train, vaccination. All right. Never praise the machine. But yeah, no, that's what's going on there. Kidderinos, but I don't know. Do you want to talk about movies or some fun stuff,
man.
or you want to go
Did
on
you see X-Men yet?
about your shit? About
Fuck
your
my shit. Who
fucking
gives a
shit?
I don't even give a shit about my shit.
It's not true. That's disregarding everything. I
The
do.
only reason I give a shit is because it bothers me. I don't understand these fucking. It's like,
What
what
that
is?
statement, which is so weird. That was definitely like a teenager. Like,
What is this thing I am feeling?
It is an
It's
act,
not
ladies and
compute.
gentlemen. It is an act. This man knows how to feel. He's feeling
I'm not a
all the
pair
time.
of tits. You know what I'm saying? Huh? Yeah.
That was a good one,
That
actually.
really
That was a good one.
Fucking hope the thunderclap go throughout the sounds of podcast.
Let's
land
hope.
everywhere.
Yeah, let's hope the the downstairs band fucking
They
knows.
start playing.
I'm like, what do.
So
But
X-Men, did you
X-Men,
see it?
I did, and I kind of agree. I agree with you, actually, almost like 98%.
Really?
Yeah,
feel
because
like-
it's kind of like meh. To me, like I love the ending. I love
Yeah.
how it comes at the end because I feel like that's what Magneto is. You know what I mean? Oh, go ahead, have some water. Don't choke it out. It's red as a beet. As a beet.
Joking on my own words here.
Yeah, my own sentiments.
Ugh.
No, yeah, I think. I mean, you said it's like you're like, yeah, it's alright. You know, it's okay. It's
I have
not
such
bad.
weird mixed feelings about it. Like the more I think about it, the more I think like I'm inclined to like it, but like I still can't overlook certain things that really just kind of bother me.
No, yeah, like basic, like I had foregone basic like things that kind of overlooked as far as timeline things.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of like, who knows with this new if it's like a new timeline or an old.
I think that's what it's supposed to be. Is it like
Yeah.
because like the way it is like if that's all X-Men First Class, anything that happened in the other movies doesn't happen anymore. So like it's
Okay.
like the Phoenix thing.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why Cyclops is back. It's
No,
like,
I think that at the end.
yeah,
Well,
like
I think,
the ending was cool. Like
no, I think but I mean just in general during the movie.
yeah, and like I was like, well, how did
Oh, sorry.
why is Professor X back? Like how did we not? And I was talking to JB about it. He's like, it's a comic book. I was like, it's not a comic book. I was like, they're referencing those. They referenced every one of those movies. Like,
Oh, you mean like at the beginning?
Yeah, I was
Oh,
like, why
at
is
X-Men.
Professor- like,
Oh,
he's died, he's dead.
I didn't even.
I was like, even in your other timeline, it still doesn't make sense because
Oh.
it hasn't been fixed yet. So like,
But at the.
remember the third one? Like,
Yeah,
she
yeah, yeah.
vaporizes him.
But at the end, but he also said he'll be back. I mean,
But yeah, like he showed up,
reconsti-
but it was in like the body of like an invalid.
Yeah, he.
It wasn't like unless it was his.
Sure, but
Professor X
he
form.
reconstitutes himself, and he kind of. I do remember at the end of Wolverine, he comes back, and he doesn't necessarily. I mean, Wolverine kind of asks that question, and you say like, oh, that is a good point. I didn't think about that. I didn't really care to think about it, and
Yeah.
I mean that.
The only reason I cared is
not just a
because
dismay.
like
or
it's
not
because they
dismay,
made
that's
it a
what I
point to reference the other ones, and because Cyclops shows up at the end, it's like, wait a minute, he was dead, now he's back.
No,
It's
but
like, where'd
that
he
makes
come
more sense.
from?
No, but that makes more sense.
That was made perfect sense. But
Yeah.
it's like, how did?
For the ration of the movie.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute,
Which was an awesome scene.
Yeah, it really
Like, 'cause
was.
it was like, oh.
There were so many things like I enjoyed. Like there were parts of that I was like, oh shit, that's fucking
Yeah,
awesome.
and I agreed with you when I saw it. I'm like, oh wow, John's gonna eat his own words. Like, cause Quicksilver is amazing.
He really was fucking awesome.
And-
That's one of the best parts of the movie.
Yeah, and in Blink, I wasn't gonna have a problem with, but you had.
She was really
just in
fucking
general?
awesome.
But I mean, I guess I didn't know you were gonna have a.
I just didn't.
You weren't familiar with her. Or?
I wasn't as familiar, and like she just. I was just like, what is this? Like another fucking filler character? But like, she's
she's
amazingly
yeah.
utilized.
Yeah, no, yeah,
Yeah.
I think she was. I will give Singer credit for all his X-Men films that he seems to understand, or creatively his team of filmmakers seem to understand the usefulness of all their mutants.
Yeah, and like the way the action, like I love the way that was filmed. Like the
Yeah.
action scenes were like. I understood what was going on. Like everything was
Yes.
really well paced,
Yeah.
and like they were really well choreographed, so you could like watch them and understand what was happening.
The
like,
editing
Blink
and pacing is
especially.
awesome. Oh yeah,
Yeah, like the
that's
way they
difficult.
used their powers,
yeah.
it was awesome.
No, you're right. It's a task in itself to try to keep that interesting and
Yeah.
know what's going on because you have, and that's why like wide shots are great.
Yes.
They can be or like not like wide like there's nothing going on. Like wide shots with a lot of shit going on,
Yeah.
and if you position it correctly, like you can anchor a shot. Like, there was a shot where she was anchored in the middle. And you had like her 3 portals and shit going on.
Yeah.
And like, oh, this is fucking.
It was really well choreographed and put together. And like I like how this like as much as I love Hugh Jackman, I think Hugh Jackman is a great Wolverine. I'm just glad this wasn't another Wolverine hour. I'm glad like the other characters.
It kind of was.
got
It
some
kind of
screen
wasn't.
time.
Yeah.
Like he was in it enough, but like it wasn't him the whole goddamn movie. Like.
And I like Beast. I like what they do with
I
Beast.
didn't like Beast in this one at all.
Oh really?
Actually,
Yeah.
No, I didn't like the whole Wolfman.
I kind of like. I don't know. I kind of
thing.
like that. I like how he looks with that a little bit. At the end, he's more.
I still think X3. So Kelsey Grammer was fucking awesome.
Oh, yeah?
The makeup was perfect in that.
Macon was all right in that.
Yeah.
I don't mind this one because it seemed like that's what he wanted to do with Beast Singer because he originally wanted Beast in the first one.
Oh really?
And they were either going to do. I think they were going to do CGI and it would be another additional $5 million or something. But I mean, this is practicals and him just on the chandelier. I know what you mean, Wolfman.
That was
style.
cool. Like
I think, yeah.
I just didn't care for his design and like.
Yeah.
I didn't think they didn't utilize him too well. Like the few scenes that he was in, it was okay, but he didn't seem like he really had much to do in it. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's a movie with a ton of like for as many characters as it had, like everyone seemed to get a pretty decent.
But they gave him his due as far as like, oh yeah, Beast is kind of a smart guy.
Yeah.
He's like kind of a scientist and a philosopher. But yeah, what Magneto does to Wolverine at the end, I thought was amazing.
That was amazing.
I thought like, oh great,
Yeah.
and like, and just that whole scene at the end. I think the middle kind of, and maybe I think I need to see it again too. But I think the middle was just kind of not necessarily dragging, but just maybe I just didn't like how Professor X was down on his, like kind of more whiny than he should have been. I think that I just have a problem with that overall premise.
I found myself surprisingly not irritated by a lot of the plot devices they used, like the serum so he could walk again and stuff. I was I figured that would, I thought that would really piss me off, but I was like, oh, this is actually like they do a decent enough job of like.
I know they're trying to make it desperate, like he's a heroin addict, but
yeah,
and it's like, I'm like whatever.
I didn't mind so much, like, but
I didn't have a.
I don't know. I feel like the more if I see it again, I'm gonna be more inclined to like it a lot more. But like, I didn't hate it at all. But like, there are so many. It just, to me, I think what it is it still doesn't feel like a proper X-Men movie. Like, I feel like it might be a step in the right direction, but it's like seeing like how Marvel's using like the actual costumes from their characters. Like, enough with the fucking black leather. Can we just like?
I don't mind that as much.
Let's see the X-Men in their costumes. You know what I mean? Like, let's. I don't know. I want to see more of like.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't mind that. Like, that isn't my biggest, but I understand. Like, I'd love to see Wolverine in kind of like the old like '80s. Like
do it up like I'd like to see them. They do like the astonishing costumes.
Oh, like the Louis.
Because those looked like they were practical. Like they were still kind of leathery, but they were like a practical sort of costume. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other thing that I kind of enjoyed, but it was kind of wacky? I don't know. I was trying to think of that shit. I don't know.
What did you think of the Apocalypse Stinger?
You know, it doesn't matter. Like, I like the shit.
I thought too.
Yeah, I mean, you stay there to see it, and then you just, oh, there we go.
Yeah.
And the four horsemen in the back are kind of, it's a fun little shot when it ends. You have those four horsemen, but not to spoil it. But yeah, I'm trying to think. There was a couple moments in Days of Future Past, like just killing mutants, like the Sentinels. Future Sentinels were, I thought, really fun.
Yeah, they were a lot cooler than I thought they were going to be. Again, like, there's so many things that, like, I was ready to hate in that movie based on what I saw, but I actually wound up really liking.
Yeah, I mean, I think they utilized them better as they went on.
And even the stupid Hoover vacuum-looking Sentinels didn't really, they were even in it. They were, like, for 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah, I didn't, like, that part where, I don't know, when Magneto was inserting metal into the Sentinels, I was like,
awesome.
I don't know. To me, it looked shitty. Like,
really?
like the CGI just looked bad to me.
Yeah. The CGI. There was a couple of moments where the effects were a little spotty.
Yeah. Like, I mean, that I thought it was fine, and I guess fine with that kind of tactic, I guess. But and there's just some lines I'm just like the things that like really get me kind of like ugh. like they get me disinterested is like expositional lines, and I'm like, yeah, we know we're all here to see an X-Men movie.
we're viewing this.
Yeah,
I
we're
get
here.
it.
Yeah, we're here to see an X-Men movie. Like when Patrick Stewart as Professor X goes, you have to go back to my house. It's like what? Just like you live in an apartment in like Brooklyn. No, just say you have to go back to the school. Like, because it just seems like it. Oh yeah, just go back to my crib. Just like hang out. You know what I mean? It seems too casual enough to go back. I don't think that's nitpicking. I think it's just more. It's just the way he would say, "Go back to my house." Is that me or is that just a weird?
No,
you know what I mean, right?
I like the way they handled the Quicksilver Magneto Sun thing. I thought that was
one line.
One line, and it was so fucking well done. I was like, man.
Yeah, he doesn't know karate. He knows crazy.
Oh,
which was good. No one picked it up.
Yeah.
Did you? You're from? Yeah, you're from.
Yeah. I thought that was. I don't know, man. There was a lot of cool stuff in that movie. It's just like it just still doesn't.
Oh, the JFK thing was kind of it. It didn't really matter. They could have put anything.
Yeah, I was really interested in it when it happened, like when they were talking about it. But then, like, actually, you know what? Fuck it. I thought that was actually kind of cool. Now that I think about it, because I remember the gist of the way it turned out. So that was alright.
Well, I liked what they did online, but there was no real.
Yeah.
There was no real translation to the screen, which it's long. I mean, there's a lot going on, but
yeah.
I don't know. That seems really interesting to me. Like he was, I don't know.
Yeah.
No, that was part. But yeah, I talk about these things that I don't like, quote unquote, but I enjoy. I mean, yeah, I probably will like it better if I see it again.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I need to see it again.
That being said, Spider-Man 2 wasn't that bad for me.
Really?
It wasn't. I think there are things that I'm just kind of like, oh, all right, this is more 500 Days of Summer in some cases. I don't know if you ever saw it, but it's the same director. He did it back in 2009, I think. Let's see, Zoe Deschanel.
No, yeah, I remember that. I think I've seen bits and pieces.
It's not a horrible movie, but I mean, it's definitely one of those 20-something, falling out of love kind of thing.
Yeah.
And there are some parts of the movie I'm like, oh wow, this is actually, I really appreciate that choice of editing and all that other stuff. And he's not as bad as a Spider Bro or Bra,
yeah.
but there are moments as Peter Parker in that's kind of like, oh well. Like, where's the nebbishness, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the thing you can also be, like, a little nebbish and a little bit of confidence, there's that. But Garfield also, I noticed that he injected a lot of, like, Queens, like, real, like, Brooklyn. Oh, yeah, he really does have this kind of, like, Queens, New York, like, vibe to him. Like, and I appreciated that, like, him as an actor, like, his performance a little more, but, yeah. I don't know. Green Goblin wasn't horrible. They actually handled it. It didn't seem like it was a shitty cake. It seems like they did what they could. I mean, there are some weird performances, but overall, it could have been a lot worse.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, it's not a bad Spidey Cable movie, and I was telling JB about I forget where we're coming back from. I think an audio thing for Jonah, but I would start the movie off with Spider-Man or Peter Parker looking at a wall, his conspiracy wall or whatever, and just him flashbacking to like Gwen Stacy dying or something, and just like working your way, raveling from that, or unraveling from that, I should say. But I don't know.
I'm still not gonna see it, but
why not? If you can see it for free, see it. Why not?
Spider-Man 3. Amazing Spider-Man. I don't care about those. I just don't care. I don't even like the original trilogy enough to want to see it. I don't care.
It's not like I think you'd be pleasantly like as far as you and I were kind of like we were like yeah I don't really want to, but it wasn't. It's not a horrible film, and it definitely there's some parts where you'd be pleasantly surprised, and some parts you're like this is kind of I could do without it. Like there wasn't to me the egregious things. If I were really like if this was purported to be something. It was purported to be more of a movie with all these villains, which isn't necessarily the case. But if they went the other way and did, if they advertised another way, it might have different thoughts. I don't know.
No.
It's interesting how.
I think some of the core complaints that I've heard are sort of fundamental.
Oh, like what?
Which is like one of the reasons I don't want to see it is like. Just that it's about nothing. It's just moving the movie along just set piece to set piece because it has to. Like the whole thing with Electro is terrible from what I hear, and it's just like
it's not like it's
there's no point to it. It just happens because it has to happen so
I
the
don't
movie
know
can move forward.
I don't think it has to happen. I mean, you could say that about any movie, to be honest. I mean, I'm not going to take that harsh a stance on it. I mean, I think the first one suffers from that kind of editing a bit, because it seems like either they took a lot out, or there's a hurriedness to it, which I think I've discussed here before, which I'm actually on board more with the hurriedness, because it seems like we got to get this going, we got to make this, have this happen. I have to see the first one again, too. But this one, it's like 2 hours and 22 minutes.
So fucking long.
It doesn't necessarily feel like that, though.
Yeah.
But there is like a point where you're like, oh, you should end them. Like the last like 10 minutes, like, okay, you can end this.
Yeah.
But overall, yeah, I didn't find myself. I'm sorry, I had the band in the background. Overall, I didn't find myself that hateful, or that like kind of angry.
What were your thoughts on? I know you saw we haven't really talked about these either. Is like Godzilla.
Oh, I talked to you about Godzilla, but I don't think we talked on the podcast.
No. Yeah.
I think the first half hour or so was like an awesome like X-Files episode.
Yeah, actually, that's a good way of putting it. Actually.
And then it kind of goes, like, I know I talked to you online about it, like, and I talked, Mike Bird appreciates it too. He likes it, and he's like, yeah, and I've gone to see it more from your point of view, you and Mike's point of view, as far as like, yeah, we can't do anything about this. But I do think the one big thing for me is like that organization that had known about these creatures for so long kind of didn't, like, I'm just looking.
There should have been some sort of contingency plan or
something.
Some sort, yeah.
And I'm not saying it had to work. I'm just saying it should have, I'm just looking for some, like, oh, there's this weapon, we can try to do this. And it's like, oh, okay. But it seemed like they weren't running too much on a plan. And I like David Strathairn, I think, is the general, or the naval general or whatever. I like him. He actually, like, the more I think about, like, his facial expressions, like, okay, we'll see what we can do.
Yeah. I liked his character. It wasn't like the standard fucking let's blow this up and just blindly following orders kind of guy.
Yeah, no, I actually, and I appreciate when you and Mike were like, oh yeah, well, think about it on that sense. I'm like, all right, yeah, I mean, I kind of was, but you guys are right. I mean, what can they do? But Jeddah Wannabe does, or not Jeddah, I keep calling him Jeddah Wannabe. Sorry. Ken Wannabe, all right?
Watanabe.
Ken Watanabe. Sorry for my mispronunciation.
Kind of fucking
I blew
the
it.
whole movie.
Well, I think he's great in the beginning, and he's like, oh, he's doing his thing. But then, like, when Nuto or the Muto,
Mutos, yeah.
when the Muto, Muto is plural, which the monsters all look cool.
Yeah.
And I actually don't like. My problem isn't with the slow burn. I like that.
Oh, it's so good. I loved it.
Yeah, and I don't. I'd like to think my look is nuanced enough where it's like, oh, the people suck. It's like, well, it's not necessarily that. I mean, like, I like having people in there. I just don't think.
You just didn't care as much about the story they had?
A little bit. I cared about it, but I just wanted them to continue with the angle of conspiracy and the mother and the Cranston. But I mean, I'm sure you just had him enough.
I think that could have been a really cool. I think they could have just done that.
Yeah.
I like how it turned out because I actually liked what's his name, Aaron Johnson or whatever.
Aaron Johnson. He was okay.
I thought he was fine. Like he does a lot of cool like little things. Again, it's all like subtle, realistic hero stuff. Like it wasn't nothing was over the top.
I think the train stuff was a little over the top.
A little bit, yeah.
I think it kind of.
But I mean, if you take out like the aspect of it having giant monsters, like the plausibility.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it seemed like a lot of it was. You're like, all right, that's a little far fetched, but maybe he's gonna be smart enough to grab onto something. Like, I mean, there's gonna be that one.
You gotta
person.
suspend if you're suspending your disbelief that there's a giant monster.
Yeah, but I like the way like he handled the thing with the kid. It's like the kid just walks away off into the next thing because he's a soldier. That's what he's just like.
Oh yeah, no, I just didn't like the parents not saying a damn thing. Like, oh, I guess we'll trust this. Like,
yes.
Yeah, the kid. Yeah, I don't mind him. Like, there's some parts where he's like, he looked just kind of like Jello, like, and maybe that's part of the intent, but it didn't look appropriate Jello. It looked like he was just kind of almost like not shaking his boots, but just he had a weird, like almost like a tick. But
There's a lot of little subtle things I like too, like when the monster's walking by and the soldiers are shooting at it, and they see it doesn't do anything to it, and so they stop shooting at it.
oh, good.
There's like these little common sense things that's like
Well, that's the thing that bugged me.
just
Like,
so many little things that I enjoyed in that movie.
but that kind of pissed me off too. That they just have like, all right, we're gonna fire these little bullets at them, and it's like, what's our plan? I don't know, just fucking fire at them or something.
And I think that's cool
Yeah.
because it like showed like a little intelligence at least on the aspect of the
Sure,
characters.
and I didn't even notice. Like, I'll have to look back at that because I saw it for free too. I saw it with our buddy Steve on Blair.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's weird. I did not enjoy it. It just like I think it could have been better. I think honestly, Adam.
I honestly don't understand how it could like I haven't seen every Godzilla movie. I'm not the biggest Godzilla fan, but I've
No,
seen
not even.
a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And this is easily the best Godzilla movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like they're fucking terrible. For the mostly it's like a dude in a rubber suit smashing a cardboard city, and like they're terrible movies. This one was really good, and I like how it attempted to do something. It was almost Cloverfield kind of feeling, and like I feel
Sure.
like the actions had some weight to it, and like nothing. It's not fun. Like it's not fun. Something
No.
smashing up everything.
Well, there are. I mean, to be fair, but they also go into fun moments.
Yeah.
And I just like sound design wise, I think you could have had a lot of you could hear a lot of things. And once again, my buddy, one of my other, Steve Blair, who we saw it with, was like, well, also, yeah, keep in mind it might be point of view, like what Aaron Johnson's character is hearing.
I liked how you're talking about how some of the things are kind of muted and some
Kind
things.
of
I
muted.
liked that a lot actually. I thought that was cool.
I was okay, but you hear a couple things, but you don't hear it all. And I'm like, part of me is like, I want to hear, like, I want to get into that zone of hearing that, because that's when things get really, and people say that's when things get cool. I say, yeah, it's cool, but also that's when things get fucking frightening. You know what I mean? Because the visual aspect of it is crazy, but when you start hearing it, and because we're not there, we can't smell it. So that's like, not to say they'll develop that technology, but like having those two senses going, it's just like fuck. It's like hammering you there, and also it just kind of like it harkens back to the '98 Godzilla, like almost like giving a thumbs up to Aaron Johnson at the end. Like Godzilla's like yeah and falls. But I actually kind of like when the dust settles over him, though.
Yeah.
I do. I think that is a nice shot.
There's so many. That movie was filmed so beautifully too, and like I was actually. I thought it was very tense. Like the suspense in that movie was really well done. Like the whole fucking movie, I was just sort of like just waiting to see what happens next, and I was really actually excited for it. And I thought the slow burn was such a good idea. Like that whole scene, that whole thing with Bryan Cranston at the beginning, he's such an amazing actor. Like giving all those scenes such weight, I was just like, it's like this thing sucks. Like all this sucks. This isn't fun. And like genuinely giving a shit about the role and doing a good job with it.
Well, yeah, that's kind of. It seemed a little, and maybe because people were a little muted, because they felt they couldn't do anything. It almost seemed like it was too blasé in some cases.
I think that's the best way of explaining what everybody's problem is, like because no one seems to be able to pinpoint it. And I think that pretty much says it, because like you're kind of right. Like there is sort of you can't do anything, so what's the point of continuing to trudge along with these people?
But there's some point, and it's just what's the point of like staying with them?
Yeah, but I think all their performances are fine. Like Elizabeth Olsen, this is the first time I've ever seen her in anything, and she was great.
Well, she's really good. And they didn't really, and this is something Jay Dubinsky and I talked about. They didn't really give her much, and that's kind of
they didn't.
And she is really good. She actually is very good. And that's she's gonna be Scarlet Witch.
Yep.
And Aaron Johnson's gonna be Quicksilver. Avengers too. But yeah, no, I don't know. It's a fun movie to talk about. I mean, we're talking about it enough where we care about, like judging it and throwing it under a bus, which Godzilla will crush. But the fucking fire breathing.
Yeah.
That was pretty great.
Yeah.
Like, did you expect that?
Oh no. But when it happened, I was kind of like, oh shit.
Yeah. No, and it wasn't. It was a genuine moment of nerd, like, oh yeah.
And the fucking dude, like I saw it in IMAX, so I was like, the IMAX I went to had really amazing. It was the one in the Loop. I've never been there, but like the sound in that place was great. Like so, anytime he screamed, I remember like the first time he let out that growl, it was like. Dude, like it was like fucking like that Simpsons scene. He was like, "Turn it up!" It was like it was so amazing. Like the sound in that theater was great.
Yeah.
But there was a.
Oh yeah, you saw it with those guys on.
Yeah, Jeremy and
Ethan. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a fucking awesome experience in the movies. That film. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I don't know, man. I probably will see it again just to figure it out, but I don't know. Just in general, it was just kind of. I think there are human elements that could be better. Like, yeah, I welcome the human elements if they're done well, and I want them.
I think they
They
were. I
do.
think the way you described it is like perfect though. It's just
Sure,
kind of like
sure.
there's no point because nothing can be done. So who
Yeah,
cares?
I mean, well, that's part of what you and Mike were kind of like hitting me up for, or like throwing at me as far as like, well, here's the. I mean, you think that, but this is kind of what's going on. I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's part of a monster movie.
Yeah.
But also, Jetta Wannabe, or again, Ken Watanabe.
Watanabe.
Watanabe. I can't. Ken Watanabe. He's constantly hunched over. This
Yeah.
is his action figure.
Yeah, just fucking look surprised.
Or just like, oh.
He was kind of perpetually surprised that whole movie.
Well, up until a point, you know what I mean? Like they got him in on the ship.
Which I get, because like you would, if you're not doing anything, if you're just
Yeah.
a spectator, you would be an open-mouthed idiot. But
Sure.
but
But also, he's been in the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's been in the game. Maybe and I can buy to degrees. Like now, I'm just buying myself back into it. Like, all right, maybe we'll throw this at the wall, seeing what sticks. No, but I can he's been studying this fucking thing and these and like
15 years or something.
yeah, like the prospect of these creatures. And he finally sees this in action. He's just like, "Oh shit! Like this is nothing like I've ever really experienced." I mean, who can say they've really
Yeah.
experienced this? But there is a point where he has to like snap to it and try to,
Yeah.
And I guess that's what I was looking for. And Johnson does that a little bit, but there's also kind of. But you made a good point, kind of about that bus driver that kind of flies it out of there, which is not bad. But also another stupid. It seemed like another stupid horror movie kind of mistake when they just stop everyone on the bridge and they're just firing at Godzilla for whatever reason, and just kind of like, okay, it's like, all right.
Battleships just shooting next to the bridge with people on
Yeah,
it.
exactly. It's just like one of those. It's a Superman moment, and it's that's what I mean. Like part of it, like you eliminate certain, like trim the fat of a couple things, and then spice up some other things. Like
Yeah. It's not a perfect film, but
no, and yeah,
It's-
that's my
it's-
problem.
easily the best Godzilla movie, and I think it was a fucking ton of fun. But,
Yeah. It is, yeah. Decapitation is always through fire breath.
Yeah. That was pretty goddamn amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty great. I mean, they pulled it out,
Yeah.
like just kind of out of there. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we hadn't talked about that. Was that
Oh,
trumpet?
man. No, that wasn't
That was
trumpet.
you.
That was my butt tuba.
That was you. Yeah, Al Caprillion. I don't know about you. I don't know where you're going. Not feeling for people or things. Where's your Emoda chip?
It's fucking busted.
Time to get an upgrade. Cyborger. Jesus, man. I don't know. Yeah, have another chip. Hey, why can't I love?
I'm so fat. I gotta keep eating.
Oh man. What if just Julie stayed forever?
Just for another 9 months till my bills are paid, and then I'd be happy.
That's all you need to do, Julie.
That's really the thing that's stressing me out. One
I
of the
remember
things
you
that's stressing
telling me.
the most. Because it's like if I don't get a roommate, I gotta get my own place, which
Why don't you just move in with
which I'll
somebody?
barely afford.
Is there anyone you can move in with?
No.
Why don't you just move to like Methuen?
What am I doing? Where am I gonna live in Methuen?
I don't know, Lena?
This is
You hear me, Lena?
Gig.
You hear me? A gig? What did she dance?
No, she's got a whole roommate situation there.
Ooh,
So.
specking this sexy.
But,
yeah, I don't know, man.
It'll fucking fit sort of.
It'll all do it. It'll
Shit
all come out
happens.
in the wash.
I'm not concerned because it always works out.
I'm not gonna do a damn
I'm just
thing.
irritated. That's all.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I'll be at my apartment. Signing my. Actually, no, that's the thing too. Fucking, I have to sign a new lease, and it's not. It's like either an additional 100 or additional like $75 a month. It's
What do you
shitty.
get? Do you get anything extra?
Yeah, we get high fives and
Like
like
fucking
laughs.
fruit basket every week.
Get a fruit basket, and they just smoke cigarettes in my presence and flick them at my face while I'm sleeping. Just like call me a faggot and just
How
like
much is your
wake
rent
up. It's right now it's like $15.61.
now? Jesus Christ.
It's a mortgage. It's a mortgage.
That is insane.
Yeah, and it will be like 16 something or possibly 17,
Ugh,
but depending if I go 6, 7, or 9 or a year.
that's fucking.
Well, that's why
asinine.
we've been trying to find a place, just like we've been real shitty about. And to be honest, Jonah's drained me, just financially
Yeah.
and sexually. and it just it always does. But yeah, we like to move into a new place is very shitty.
It is. And that's why I don't want to do it.
No, I mean I hear you. I hear you, man. I hear you.
I'm gonna Craigslist it. I don't want it because if I move somewhere, it's gonna be for like a year, and then I have to move again. I don't want to do that.
And you have to put down like it all depends. Some people are like, hey, first and a deposit, which deposit could be a little less than rent, or some people ask for first and last and a deposit. I mean, I don't understand it. It's like such a weird deal.
Yeah.
But that's why we've been looking. And, you know, we have to notify 2 months beforehand. And that's such bullshit, too, because it's just a weird, like, we don't know. Like, and you can't, to feasibly be like, oh, we want to move into this place, but we're going to have to wait 2 months. And it's like, no, we're not holding it for you. Like, oh, why? Yeah. Either that or you pay to those additional months. Like, it's a money pit, regardless. And
it's fucking terrible. It's a shitty
situation. And a bunch of my friends, Adam, you know, Papa Adam Van Voorhees, Adam Ant, as I call him lovingly. He is moving to Cambridge as well from Arlington, and you know, him and his gal pal moving in together.
Nice. And
yeah, it's a great thing. I've been giving him poo-poo for it in a beautiful way.
Is that closer or further?
In June. Oh, Cambridge? Oh, Cambridge is a little it's further towards the city, but it's not as big. It's like a stone throw. You know, Arlington was right there, and Cambridge is right next to it.
Nice.
But yeah, no, I mean, when we talked about how tough it is, it's like a job finding a place. You know, it's like we have, and you and I talked about this about like trying to get shit done, and just like how many jobs do we have? You know, you have like jobs you get paid for, and you have jobs you just do. You know, being married, looking for a place, online, you know, fucking working for in charitable organization, or no, a non-profit organization that hopefully will give money to Jonah if I fucking just withhold stuff from him, which I plan on kind of doing a little bit, just to be a prick. Like, oh, I did all this stuff for you, but I will not release it until you give me money. Well, that's actually how I got into my current place.
It's crazy. You're still with that.
Well, I had to. What I did, they're like, oh, and I wasn't like working 40 hours. Well, I was working, but I wasn't being paid for like 40 plus hours. I was working like part time and some time unemployment. So I had to make up. I made it, quote unquote, made up, but also it's like, oh, these are realistic like invoices I have for these people, and it equated up to like $10,000 to $20,000. If I were to really, and probably more. I was just being like, oh, the time I put into it, and if I could equate, you know, if I could put a money amount on it, I'm like, oh yeah, I could easily, like this could be a year's wage. I could apply for this, so, and that's what it, because I'm like, oh yeah, show us work and invoices you've done. I'm like, well, I'm a freelancer. Here's this, and that's how I got. Places are tough to get into, man.
Yeah.
Especially like our place, like a Melrose place. Or 90s people out there.
Yay.
Yeah. I don't know, man. But that's let's break it down. Let's do some plugs.
Word.
Let's decompress a bit. What do you got?
Well, I need everybody to play Hearthstone. Get on Blizzard.
What is that?
Get on Battle.net and download Blizzard's newest game, Hearthstone. It's basically Magic the Gathering. You play it online.
What?
It's an amazing system where you can play anybody. It's not out for Android yet. It's PC, but if you have a iPad or something, you can play it on your iPad, and it works through Battle.net. So even if someone's on a PC, you can still play someone on your iPad. It's fucking amazing. I'm waiting for it to come out on Android, so it'll ruin my life. So, but it's basically Magic the Gathering. If you're a Magic nerd, I like it better than Magic. I think it's a much faster and more fun game than Magic is. But it's so good. It's starting to consume me. It's a good strategy game. I would say Asylum Studios .biz. I'm kind of. Oh yeah, what the hell am I doing? I'm doing some background animation painting for.
Yeah, with Chad.
For Chad Kaplan and this guy Michael out in California for an animated film called Desert Mirage. So that's pretty fun / awesome.
Yeah, and, congrats.
My name is jonahfilm.com. Fucking somebody just buy this movie so we can move on with our lives.
It isn't, like, I think, you know, but you know, it's a long road. It's gonna be another year or two.
It is,
maybe.
Like this is like the weight of it. Just like it just kicked in like a week ago. Yeah, like It was all like I was having the time of my life with it, like especially after the
You didn't have
energy
to
of
do the
the
work.
premiere. But now it's like I'm getting like just talking to like some distributors, like getting fucking stretched out talking to people about it.
Yeah,
and
man,
stuff.
but that's gonna be
Yeah,
that's
it's
gonna be
part
that
of it, yeah.
tenfold.
Yep.
That's what's coming up.
But yeah, New York premiere. If you're out in New York in a couple weeks,
Yeah,
come
all
see
our
us
New
June
York
15th.
buddies. Same night tonight. Matt Kroll and Steve Bouja and their crew. My
Past
buddy
guest,
Court Dunn,
Jared Mouche.
Jared Mouche, Mushi-san,
Mushi-san, baby Mushi.
and my buddy Chris Costa, who works for MTV as well, and a bunch of other Marcos Buenos, a bunch of other people I know out there. Maria.
If you're in New York, come see us. If you listen to us and you're from London, June 27th.
Mr. Hope, yeah. June 29th.
June 29th. Oh,
On the
okay.
Duke Fest,
Right on.
Sunday night, 7
bad.
p.m. So they're both Sunday nights. So June 15th in the Lower East Side, Manhattan Festival. Oh, and Andy, my buddy Andy, in Brooklyn, he's gonna come too, and I might actually stay at his place, yeah, for a couple of those days. Which, if you come down, yeah. I have another bathroom session. It's just we play the Hambone for hours. Actually, he lives right above a bar. It's really fun.
Yeah.
And our buddy Josh and Jay.
Ones and meats.
Ones and meats. But yeah, no. So yeah, comically speaking, as a comic book shop, great comic book shop in Reading, Mass. I run its Facebook page. You check them out at facebook.com/comically speaking.
Oh, next Thursday, Cinemagic and Hooksett. I'm hosting a screening of
there you go.
Predator. It's only $8. Cinemagic and Hooksett, New Hampshire. $8 is beer, wine, and I host trivia. We can give away some prizes and all that. And then basically we watch Predator on the big screen, and I throw in a bunch of old retro trailers for the movies I'm going to be screening next. So it's a fucking awesome time. Just come check it out.
Yeah, it's been doing pretty well. I went to the
Yeah.
first one. Sorry I didn't go to Dark Crystal.
Oh, that's all right.
I actually was going, but I had to back out because I had plans with these other people I had made plans with. And I just double booked myself like an idiot. But then they canceled on me. Like at the last moment, so I'm like, so it's kind of shitty.
That was a lot of fun. The DCP. It's been awesome too. Like the DCPs have all looked really great so far. So
yeah, the Big Trouble was really
it was awesome.
And I'm looking forward to Predator because I've never
yeah.
seen that on the
I
big
haven't
screen.
me either. It's gonna be so fucking glorious.
But,
to behold.
Yeah, it'll be good. Those are nice and really fun. And yeah, Double Midnight Comics.
Yeah, very big supporters of this little endeavor.
Yeah, we
might have
got
a little special treat for Ghostbusters in October.
Oh, nice. Do they have a sale that we have to go there and do like a?
Yeah,
like
we can
live
do a podcast from this.
Yeah.
They've told us.
Oh, they have?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. Cool.
I talked to them last time I was there. They said they definitely we could do that. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
And it'll be the level was the same as this one. Just a fucking.
Still no viewers.
Oh, they all just come in, they're like, hey, what's going on? Then run back.
Hey, Archie Comics back here.
Yeah.
Oh.
Only one where it does. Like,
So
oh,
he fucks his
Jesus.
mouth.
Yeah. With sadness, the Grim Reaper just rapes him. With a dickle or sickle with a dildo on the end of it, as they call it. That's all we know. Dick jokes and depression. But there's.
Speaking of which, this is the last time I'll ever emote on this show, so
I don't know.
apologize.
No, don't.
I apologize for my whiny cuntitude on this episode.
Sure, call that. Don't call it that. Not actually communicating with people, because that's your defense.
Whatever. Don't be a fag.
Yeah, don't be a fag. Yeah, what was it? Oh yeah, there's Lou Ferrigno is not dead. He's alive. There's like a rumor going around.
Give a shout out to Evergreen's tits because they're
Oh
fucking
my
wonderful.
sir, please.
They're so wonderful.
I don't know, that's kind of brash. Whatever. But comically speaking, Jeff O'Brien at Shogun Tattoo and Nick Flanagan at Shogun Tattoo on Route 28 in Salem, New Hampshire. Colleen B. Yeah, what's going on? Flashing.
Fucking
around.
Popo,
Yeah,
yo.
Popo around here. Colleen B. Is that her Twitter? Colleen
I
B.
think so, yeah.
And her poetry. All I can think about,
poetry.
and her poetry. All I can think about is Dead Man, which you need to see. Johnny Depp.
Oh yeah.
You read my
It
poetry.
sounds familiar.
Beautiful line. Do you read my? You read my poetry, and then he shoots two guys. And it's a beautiful movie. It's a beautiful film. It's a beautiful film. Jim Jarmusch. Trying to think. It's just anything. Lonely Reviewer with Bache Arabian, Bleeding Cool, Louis Falsetti, our buddy.
Our buddy, our pal.
Pal Louis. and JB Sapienza, who doesn't listen, but Garlic Bread at Arms, and just JB Sapienza. Check out his stuff at JB Inks, co-director of My Name is Jonah, co-producer, co-seducer of all things pasta.
Yeah.
And a magician in the kitchen. Yeah, Pizza Prince in the sack. I don't know, man. That's to everyone. To anyone we forgot, we apologize. Oh, The World is Square came out with a new album. They were the intro and outro last time.
Congrats, dudes.
Yeah, and I'm sorry we haven't been able to make it to your stuff. We still appreciate what you do. Awesome music, good times.
Lauren, your babe.
Babe, naturally. Dave, you're a babe as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're all babe. Joe, Nick, the whole gang. We just hope we can get you all guys in a World Square sandwich. I would love to go on tour with them to like their nerdy nerd rock sessions. I think that would be fun. We should try to do that. We should try to make a thing of that.
We just wanna ride your coattails.
Pretty much, yeah. We just want to be with you and see nerd girls, which is hot. Yeah, you can't really front on that. Why could you front? How can you front?
Girls give you fucking tier career playboys.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That was the coolest thing that's ever happened to me, I think.
Yeah, I think, and she brings all the other gals because I believe that's part of it's part of her makeup. Pretty
Lauren,
cool.
You're gonna be a wingman. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, really. Give it up. Give it up. And she plays the uke, which is great. Ukulele. It's pretty awesome. All right. That's it, man. I mean, if there are other people we forgot, we apologize. Oh, Ethan. Ethan at his new.
Ethan.
Hold on. Let me look up the actual
Ethan's
writers.
So white.
Yeah, he really is. Do you know off the top of your head the?
I should because I'm making a logo, but I don't.
You don't.
I'm a shitty person and friend.
A little bit, yeah. Not too much, just enough. But
why the fuck can Kitty Pryde all of a sudden send people back in time?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's a movie. That's all I can. That's just that.
It really bothered me a lot.
Yeah, I do
it bothered
remember
me
you
so
saying.
much.
Well, was it you or JB who said we'll just make that part of her power to begin with or something?
No.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. I ain't no fool.
I am wasted again.
Yeah, that actually is. Yes, thank you.
It made me so mad.
He was kind of thrown around like a rag doll.
Always. He's just every fucking. It's like, all right, we got Colossus. It's like.
Why?
Here he is getting the shit kicked out of him again.
Yeah, why? And just like his eyes were steel. I just have his eyes there. Just have it.
So lame. He didn't do anything.
No, he got the crap kicked out of him. I thought that was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like, even if he took like one of them down, you know what I mean?
If he did anything.
Yeah.
It's always like the coolest thing he did was in X-Men 3, which nobody likes, when he did the fucking fastball special with Wolverine who cuts a Sentinel head off. That movie gets no love, and it really.
Yeah, it's kind of shitty. No, it's shitty.
I'm gonna go home and watch it as soon as I get home and watch it.
Pretty shitty. Like I'll stand by. I only saw like 1.5 times. Like it's pretty shitty.
I don't know. Magneto taking the whole Golden Gate Bridge and fucking.
And doing
really
nothing
cool
with it. And doing nothing, and then throwing flaming cars at people, which do like what? Okay, see you later. But it's like that's a waste of power. That's just look what we can do. It's like okay, but was it really advantageous for him to do that? Not really.
You may have a point there.
That's a thing that like that's a cool thing he's doing, but it's like Days of Future Past. What he does to Wolverine, yeah, it's a cool thing, and it's also like that that makes sense. Like that, you would do that, but I don't know. Yeah, but he got wasted again. Colossus.
Poor Ruski. He's not even rushing in those though, so whatever.
No, I mean but X-Men 2 I thought was a great. Like he gets shot at and just turns to steel and throws two guys through a wall. I'm like, that's pretty awesome. It seemed like a good tease. I think it's really fun. Oh man, where is it? I'm trying to find. The whole point of me fucking delaying this is trying to get.
Oh, go to his groups. There's a group for it. Which
I
think you're part of. Just go to the homepage.
My homepage?
Yeah, just hit the homepage. There should be a group for it. It's called like the Federation of
Depraved like Writers
or something.
You're doing the logo.
I don't even know.
Well, I've been a part of it, and I've talked to him. He's like a dear friend. And pages and groups, Feminist Film Coalition, which I just joined. They love this podcast. Oh my God! Yeah. Keep it talking, my friend.
Right,
keep it talking.
This is Ethan. Ethan has something that he's doing that we love Ethan, and we were going to support him in.
Yeah, and we will make it to one at one point. We swear to God.
There we go. The Federation of Belligerent Writers.
Ah, there we go. Yep.
The
So-
FBW.
Check it out. It's on Facebook. And yeah, go to. They're like every other week, I think, on in Worcester at like Nick's. I think at the bar.
I believe so.
Sounds like a lot of fun. I've watched videos. He's told me all about it. It's pretty much like writing,
going to the one in
having a
July?
write-off. Yeah, most definitely going to that one. Yeah. Yeah. That's all, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, take it easy. We'll check out next time.
Yeah.
Try to feel. Give all your
Whatever.
feels to
Emotions of
John.
Queers.
Yeah. They're the best. As we acknowledge here today, they are the best.
Queers.
Jesus, John.
Ugh.
Now we're going to go up the other guy. See you later, everybody. See you later.
Who's our one viewer?
That's probably Adam. Hi, Adam.